Welcome to another episode of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Descent into the happy mantis face that is Avernus, as you see before you. So, let's do some introductions. I will first start off with the person who's missing today, and that is the person who plays Thorn, in other words, Ghostwoods. He typically plays a half-elf... No, an elf, full elf, excuse me. an elven ranger who has since graduated from just being the boring old ranger that he was, is now an advanced one. As many of us have advanced from the boring characters we started as.
Backpedal.
And I'm digging the hole deeper. None of us were actually boring characters. We're all amazing and interesting characters, and only just got more so as we progress. So he won't be here today due to illness. So therefore, we are progressing without him. And therefore, in his place, we have our friendly neighborhood demon, just kind of taking over a little bit in that spot. So yeah. Moving on from that, though, since I'm already talking, I'll say I'm Vallen. I'm playing as Palkas, the little green token there with the gray-skinned half-orc, who is also a wild magic sorcerer. Yeah, and then moving on down, we've got playing as Grimm.
I'm Nobby, and as Vallen said, I'm playing Grimm, a shifter, holy monk, so to speak, who's very bad at clerical things.
No, he just had a little fumble. That's all. A little fumble.
Repeated fumble.
That's okay.
Anyway.
He just had one of the great old ones help show him the way. So moving on down.
But yeah, that'll go over well with Thorn.
We've got playing as Coyra.
Hi, I'm Shy. I'm playing as Coyra, a half-elf druid, who has a weird hatred for wood, and she was a great character to start with.
And has since gone downhill? I mean, the way you said that.
No, I mean, only got more amazing.
Okay. All right. And then moving on further down, we've got playing as Malvola.
Hello, I'm Nightcaste. I play Malvola. He's a Dragonborn warlock. Surprisingly getting better and better as things have gone on, as we said. Oh, right, yes, I do have a new token, too. I don't have the... Unfortunately, we're not using my view, so we can't really... Can you zoom in on that?
I will zoom in on that. There we go. Oop, oop.
Yes, he has horns on his face now.
Yes.
I love the artwork that Blue Hair's Dragon Keeper has been doing for us. All of these have been great.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I was kind of surprised that apparently mine was the only one to get an update. I don't know if the rest are coming. I hope they are, because although the one that Palkas is also really good too. So, I don't know if there's anything to change there.
He pretty much looks the same.
Perfect.
Yep. Maybe a big bunch of backpack on him or something, but I like him. I like him as is. And then, of course, in the top right there, we have kashcah.
Oh, I am Kashka, DM for this adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna
Person
use...
who may or may not kill us.
I'm using the emotes because they're amazing.
And
Sorry.
she is currently the one who tries to keep us alive in this campaign. So let's do a little recap of last episode. I'm not going to do a recap of the entire campaign. I've tried that in the past. It's terrible. So I'm just going to do the last episode. We proceeded toward High Hall, which is where we're currently at, and saved a teenager from the ruins of a collapsed house en route. Entering the hall, though, Thorn found that there were hellhound guards without being detected. He lured them into a trap, and we all finished them very quickly. In fact, they didn't really know what hit them. Kashka didn't even bother going to a battle mat because we just kind of... And then we thought, you know what? That's the worst of our...
Hellhound grinder.
Yeah, that's the worst of our worries. Thinking most of the danger was past, we just kind of nonchalant trounced our way into the cathedral, or the high hall as it is. And we found it populated by Tiamat cultists and a white Abashi, or who is similar to like a white dragon-like humanoid. We were finishing them off when another set of hellhounds and a Maragon, which is like this baby-faced looking demon, is really creepy, showed up and counterattacked the group, nearly felling Palkas. The party rallied and were able to quell the immediate danger, but this doesn't look very hospitable for refugees, which is what we were hoping, or hold much hope for finding older Ravengard, which was the primary objective of our mission. And on to episode 20, High Hall Hopes.
I feel like it should have been hi ho, hi ho.
Here, I was all like, High Hall Hopes.
Oh yeah, okay. That works as well.
All right. And yeah, we are currently, let me actually zoom back out here if I can. This is the entrance to the cathedral here, because I realize now that my mouse pointer for some reason is not showing up on screen, but it does show my selection, and we are currently that's a little bit difficult to, we entered in, let me use the little arrow tool, through the doors, found a bunch of blood down here, and then we proceeded on, heard a bunch of dudes over here. Malvola summoned one of the great old one's abilities to envelop and tentacleize a lot of the cultists, of which...
Yeah, it was all censored.
A bunch of them, yeah, it was. A bunch of them died from the excitement, and then the rest
from the excitement
moved over
some of
here.
The cultists weren't protesting too much, I think.
Just don't protest too much. So I think that's pretty much it. We just finished combat, but Kashcah was still describing some clippity-cloppity sounds or drippity-droppity.
Yeah, okay.
It sounds like...
I was like, what did I forget?
And for those curious about what this is fun being made on the map. That's it.
It's not an official part of the map, folks.
No. The cathedral is not a drying praying mantis.
No, it is.
It's canon for this campaign now.
Indeed.
It's an ant trying to move that rubber plant.
So if I recall correctly, yeah, we just kind of wrapped up this combat, and some folks were kind of recovering some of their hit points. I think there was some cure wounds going on, and trying to regain some health again a little bit. And
yeah, Grimm was nice to somebody for a change.
And I don't have your name tag show. And in the background you can still hear this kind of clipping or kind of clacky noise of something. It doesn't sound quite like hooves, but something like, or actually lots of things like clacking against the marble floor of the cathedral, and it just kind of like echo around the space a little bit. Echo. And this really is kind of a big space, and what you see kind of in front of you, just as a quick reminder, to kind of set the scene again, these wiggly lines are actually tattered curtains, so you can kind of see through them a little bit. Maybe haven't been kind of like looking too much at the moment because of being focused on the encounter, but they are kind of burnt, and there are some claw rips through them, and looking in a lot worse shape obviously than they were before. And the whole cathedral has this layer of kind of ashen dust that's over it as well. So you've got this kind of clicking, clacking of something's feet on the marble floor.
Kashcah.
Yes.
Would you like to surrender Thorn?
Oh, yeah, I could add that.
I'm still secretly hoping it's a troop of tap dancing kobolds and not one of Malvola's big cousins.
I don't know.
They generally don't have that many feet.
I've run into both, and honestly, you get a lot less attacks with one of his cousins than you do with a troop of tap dancing kobolds.
But if they're more interested in tap dancing, they're less interested in attacking.
That's what you'd like to think.
They do
Wait.
both.
It's my delusion, and I'm sticking to it.
They've got
They're
the
all
hats and
bards. It's all sonic attacks.
Yep.
You know, no tunes of death.
Just a bunch of semantic components.
Yep.
For one mask.
Look out for the
fusion
king.
spell.
Alright. Yay, I get access to the
How about
Thorn.
we just peek through the curtain?
And I think Thorn is going to peek through this one.
Okay. And Rhea will say, she kind of moves over and whispers, and well, says in a low voice, that's the main altar through there. And you can kind of see like, this kind of, not where you get kind of this view through here, and Thorn will get kind of like this view through here. And Thorn does see kind of the edge, and Nobby, you probably see as well. Grimm probably sees like the edge of a raised area, kind of that looks like it is, you know, kind of the center of attention. Like this is what the whole architecture of the building is focused on.
But is there any sign of tap dancing kobolds?
Negative.
Or large dragons with more feet than normal?
And that was without a perspective check.
They've got yeah. Dragons just got like these little tap shoes on each claw. It's just like,
Sorry, my mind just conjured an image of it. Of a dragon with tap shoes on each claw.
Makes me think of like one of those weird videos where a guy puts like a little doll hand on his fingers and he's
So the noise, this noise does seem to be getting, as you're kind of taking a peek, it does sound kind of like it's getting closer. It definitely seems closer than when you were all kind of stopping and healing and everything. So within the last like 5 minutes or so, it's definitely coming closer, and it sounds like it's coming from kind of this direction. Like it's off in that area there somewhere.
I would presume Thorn would continue to sneak along this way, trying to peek through as he can to find out what it is, mentioning to the rest to, you know, stay still or stay back for a moment while he sees if he can find what the sound is.
Yeah, so as he's looking kind of through the curtains there, through the breaks in the curtains, he can see that yes, this is like, there's a huge big wooden altar up here, and it is in the shape of a fist, a closed fist, and it looks like it's actually carved quite intricately of wood.
But no sign of
Don't let
the
Coyra see it.
stuff.
It sounds like a flaming fist soon.
No sign of the tap dancing.
No sign of any tap dancing or anything.
He shakes his head no back to the rest of the group.
The
Kind of a shrug.
question that's going through my mind is it like a clicking, like a dog's toenails on linoleum kind of thing? Just there's a lot, or is it like heavier than that?
No, it's heavier than that, but it is kind of like that noise. That's the kind of noise that.
Is it like Mr.
So
Funny
it could
Shoes?
be giant hellhounds.
Is it like Mr. Funny
Oh.
Shoes?
Just
Yeah, it
wondering.
is kind of like Mr. Funny Shoes.
Oh,
yeah.
sure. What was that from? I can't remember the movie.
Oh, Mimic?
Yeah. That was it. So Thorn just kind of shrugs back to everybody, not knowing what it was. And then proceeds to peek around this way
Why did I
Stealthily?
go for Mr.
as he's going.
Okay. Alright.
Can I see anything into this darkness that's down here? Other than, I mean, including like architecture.
That's the edge of the world.
Yeah, so let me do this a little bit. Right, let's get rid of that bit over there. And let's do like that.
By the way, sorry we're so zoomed out, folks, but it's a very big map.
It is a big, big cathedral. So yeah, it looks very symmetrical, you know, to kind of like what you saw on the other side. So in this direction, Thorn is peeking around and Malvola's having a look as well.
Mm-hmm. Thorn will proceed to keep looking around if he doesn't see anything.
Okay, yeah, you see another curtain.
Behind that, another.
That's a brand new car.
A vacation in Tahiti.
So he'll stealth up to this point to see if he can see around this edge in here. If that makes sense.
Make a perception check at this point.
Okay.
As you're getting
I'm wondering how far he'd go before we need to do that.
closer to the.
Oh wow, a character
stuff
with
on the
perception. I
things.
don't even know what to do with this now.
Thorn notices through some of the tears in this curtain right here, this movement behind there. And that kind of clacking sounds like it's just the other side of this curtain at this point.
Okay, he backs the truck up. And looks like he's got a sense of urgency and is pointing in that direction. You know, like there's a bad guy there or something. So
Coyra sees it and tells the others, like, I think Thorn found something.
And he motions over to Malvola as well.
Raya is going to start making her way.
He starts doing like charades for tap dancing kobolds.
Okay.
Lulu is going to flutter behind everyone as well.
Palkas is going to stay behind people and not too close to the curtains. Actually, he's going to stay like way over here. Something just jumped out from behind the curtains last time. And Thorn will come back and say, you know, the source of the noise is around the corner and behind the next set of curtains.
It seems to be kind of moving further north at this point.
It's currently heading towards us and may end up coming through these other curtains here.
Are you trying to be stealthy?
Yes.
I would like fresh stealth checks then, please.
Oh no. I'm sure he doesn't have his spell up anymore. So we'll do.
Oh, I should roll one for Raya.
I'm good at stealth.
Just wait till you see this. Ready? There we go.
For Raya.
Bam!
Ha, mine is worse.
No, it's not because
It's the same.
because I can still roll lower.
We're all wearing tap shoes right now. Apparently. Wow.
Okay. So then, before
Did you
you
roll for Thorn?
So what's
I
the
did.
stealth again?
The 21 was Thorn. The 4 was Palkas.
Oh, that's confusing.
yeah,
Sorry.
it's no, it's the roll
No
20
worries.
thing. It's not
Yeah.
So before you can do anything else, kind of. Oh, actually, hang on one second. Let me grab the thing because
So Thorn's all like, "There's a guy over there," and everyone's, "What? I can't hear you."
Did you just say that there's a die over there?
Sorry.
As it
Kashcah.
suddenly comes through the curtain.
So yeah, kind of
Or they, since I'm still
tearing
thinking it's tap
through.
dancing kobolds.
Yeah, I'm not doing the bonus actions. So you hear them kind of barreling towards you.
Gee, why not, Kashcah?
Because you guys do like too much damage these days. So you hear them kind of barreling towards you, right? So you do have kind of
Wait.
a moment
there's
to...
crabs.
They are
Yep,
giant.
it looks like we've got crabs.
giant
Now I'm
crabs.
imagining the crab reef song.
So we can see the crabs through the.
Yeah,
The tattered
because
curtains.
I mean they're not
Okay.
staying behind the curtains. They are just busting a move.
Crap.
Oh, crab.
Yep.
Thorn's not in the best of health.
But
Well, I'm kind of out of spells, so
and they seem to have somebody at the back spurring them on
great.
as well.
The crab master.
So let's roll for initiative. The crab master, indeed.
This whole situation's making me crabby.
Woohoo!
Oh, hang on. Did you?
Oh, there we go. That works.
Oh, I didn't have him clicked on.
Oh, he's got a
I'll
plus.
I'll
7.
fix it if you want.
Jeez.
You can't deny a nat 20 for initiative.
Mhm.
Considering I usually go last, yeah. Like, give me that.
Can you roll again though, and I'll just fix the number. So it's like the easiest way to.
You know what? It finally
Thank you,
makes sense
'cause
to
I'm
me
lazy.
now why you have to click on your character and then click the initiative thing. Because if you're controlling 2 characters, that's how it
you make a good
tells.
point. That's
Alright.
actually a really good point. Never thought of it. So
Giant
it's actually
crab
wondering why you had
friends,
to click.
and
This is going to be interesting.
then
So
their friend up.
basically, Kashcah is clicking every crab individually.
Generally, you do monsters as a group.
Yeah.
No, I was saying I find it interesting because the 2 more or less frontline fighters are 2 of the last people to go.
Yep.
Ignore this roll. Okay, never mind. I was hoping that if I clicked on Thorn first and then clicked on his sheet, it would say
That it would
something,
show up.
but it
Who's
didn't.
who?
So,
Yeah, sorry.
it's worth a
Roll
try.
20's not that great. Yeah, I think it works for me as GM, but not for you as a player. If I do that.
No worries.
Okay, so yeah, these crabs kind of just tear their way through the already torn curtains and set about attacking you. So Malvola, you are up first.
How big are these crabs?
They are they're medium sized, so they are as
Food.
big as you are.
Yike!
Got any more anti spells?
Are these crabs demonic? Or are they actually normal crabs?
So
As
that's
in tentacle spells?
that's a really oh.
Yes, technically, I could do that again, but
Hold on.
So
Yeah.
they do look almost like normal crabs, except they have these big spines protruding from their backs, from their shells, and as they get close to you, you smell they're like exuding this smell of sulfur and brimstone.
Yeah, definitely hell crabs.
Okay,
Yeah,
is
definitely hell crabs.
86 the idea of a crab bake later?
What's this one look like?
That one looks like I think I have a handout.
Oh, here we
You
go.
guys have seen him before. He's your favorite? Maybe not.
Crab man.
But
Ooh,
Oh.
That guy.
One of those guys.
that guy.
one of
The
those
guy
guys.
who strategically places his hand every time you look at him. He's like, anyway. Sorry. No, I wasn't thinking of that hand. I was thinking of the other hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that too.
Right. So Malvola.
What
And I
do
was-
you do?
I was kind of hoping that they were like that. This was going to be like a swarm of tiny little creatures, but
Yeah, no kidding.
because I've got something that will deal with that really well. But this, I'm like, the best I can do is I'm gonna go for the targeting the ones that are having a brain. I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast. The first shot is the one that's directly in front of Thorn, and
Mhm.
the next shot would be the one that is one south of that.
Okay, doke.
Yeah.
Cool.
Boop, boop. Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
Those are some good
Yes,
boops.
those both hit. Big bada boops.
okay, that's the
that's
first
some
one.
serious booping.
And the second one, that's 11 damage.
That I like how the regular roll did better than the crit. But hey,
Yeah.
it's all force damage.
Okay, so the first one, the blast hits it. Apparently, you aimed extremely well with that one, because you murder that crab. You hit it in just the right spot between, between the shell and leg joint or something, and the whole crab's whole body tenses with this kind of like force energy, and then crumples to the floor. You see its crab eyes go like, and then yes, dead. And this one looks like it is severely wounded.
Okay, my guess would be they've
Okay.
got 12 or 13 hit points on average, or at least those two did.
Are you staying where you're at?
Seeing how that went, I'm gonna move like, let me see, 1, 2, here, and I'm going to call out, everybody out the door.
What door?
Yeah, what?
The front door. We've only walked through one door in this whole place.
It's a doorway. There's no door. Oh, there are doors. I just scrolled. Never mind. There's 2 doors. Sorry.
Right.
Can't decision today.
Lulu is going to kind of back up a little bit next to Palkas here and hold her action.
Okay.
If there's anybody who looks like they're in trouble, she will attack who is attacking them. Palkas,
Okay.
you are dead. No big surprise.
Got that template handy, or do you just want to do the wing it?
Wait, which template are you?
The big one.
In need of?
The big one.
What's the big one? Cone or?
The cone.
Okay, let me see. Hang on one sec. I do have some templates. So what we got?
Oh crap.
What kind? You want the 30-foot
Yep.
Mamba Jamba?
Yep.
What
he's
are you
moving
casting?
half his movement here,
Okay.
and then he wants to kind of cone like this, but not hit any of his friends.
What are you casting?
Psionic Blast.
Oh, okay. So I have actually do have like let's go with this guy. You know what? I'm just gonna give control of that to you.
Oh crap!
There you go.
I can't make it any bigger.
Oh, you should be able to. Yeah, you don't have
I can spin it. I don't have size control.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
How big? I don't know. Is that too big?
Oh gosh. It's the same effect basically. If I were to do this from him, it would be, let's see, because he doesn't want to hit Thorn. It would be like 30 foot, and then it would be something like, no, that's 100 feet. How is it 100 feet all of a sudden? Oh, because
It's adding.
never mind.
I think you just want to move the template up 1 square,
Okay.
and then you should be just about perfect. Yeah, like.
Or maybe Palkas should take a step down.
Yeah, that would make sense. Hold on. I gotta move it out of the way in order to move him. There we go. So then, can I move it up? There we go.
Okay.
I guess. I mean, I don't really know. It looks kind of weird how it is,
Alright,
but.
so all of those crabs. So hang on.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crabs and the barbed devil.
Mm-hmm.
Need to make that dex save. Wait, yeah, the devil is just in there, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. He's pretty dexterous, but he still fails. Well done, buddy.
Well, I mean,
well done.
if you really want to, the cone's actually further out, but whatever.
Okay, so then let's do the crabs starting at the top. He fails as well. Oh, let me shrink this down. Okay, so next one down.
He does the whole thing where he like
Fail.
runs over, swings his hammer, and it just like it stops like it's a dead weight in midair, and things that are affected by it seem like they're getting pushed by an invisible wind.
This crab succeeds.
and blasted. I don't know if it has enough
There's one more.
hit points regardless, though.
So
It's Super Crab.
stands there flexing at you. So this crab and this crab succeed and the rest of them fail.
All right.
So the rest of them are prone, right? Including the devil. Is that right?
And they're pushed 20 feet.
What does prone mean?
They're
they
knocked to
fall
the
over.
ground.
Although how that works with a crab.
Their legs go.
They're now on
Um,
their backs.
I believe like quadrupeds and multi-legged creatures are actually immune to stuff like that, but I'm not sure
Let me
because
see
it's
if it
fitted in.
calls- Let me see if it calls it out. I don't think it calls it out. It does seem. I think they're going to be pushed back, but I don't think they're actually going to be pro.
Well, here's the question.
How do you make it?
Do they have enough hit points to survive it first?
Oh, that's a really good point.
Because you might not
God
even have to
damn it.
worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they are all dead. in
Okay.
fact. Why did I go around putting tokens on all of them when
don't
they're
know.
actually all dead? Son of a bitch.
Just tried to save you the effort.
Alright, so that one's dead, that one's dead. And this one is also dead. These two... Wait, they take half damage?
Yep.
Okay,
Would be
these
what,
two
13?
are seriously injured.
Oh, really?
Wait, what is it?
Half of 25.
Yeah,
It'll be
it's
12.
12.
Oh, you're rounding down. Okay.
always
If
round
you
down.
get rounded down, I get rounded
Okay,
down.
no, it's
so-
fine. It's your rule. I don't remember.
Very convenient.
Of course.
And this guy, so he gets pushed 20 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go like this, like that, and he's gonna take the damage. I said roll 20, he's gonna take the damage. Okay. Alright, so he's on his ass back here, and everybody else is.
Okay. And then Palkas will move. Well, he actually moved 20 feet. He moved 25 feet to get here. So he still has 15 left. So he's going to retreat to this square here.
Okay.
And then, excuse me, get this handout out of the way. He is going to, for his, what is it, the quicken spell? I think he can quicken a cantrip. Yes. So he's going to spend 2 of his sorcery points. Boop, boop. And he's going to cast Chill Touch. Which, does it have enough range? 120 feet, yeah. He's going to cast Chill Touch at the Barbed Devil.
Okay.
And miss.
And miss. He kind of sneers at you. Okay.
You
And-
spent sorcery points.
Yeah. It doesn't activate anything special. I just
Okay.
spent 2 sorcery points.
I couldn't remember.
And that is that for his turn.
Okay. Then Coyra.
If the boar is still around, she tells it to wait and immediately does a Thorn Whip on this one. I have the wrong thing selected. That's 30 feet, right? Yeah, this one. Getting hit.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh.
I hope.
Actually, no, that doesn't.
If-
It just
and-
misses.
if the boar is still around, it got told to just wait again.
Okay.
And Coyra is gonna listen to Malvola.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Think 6.
did the boar come with, or did the boar get left?
I
It
have no
was-
I thought
idea
he
at
was
this
out on
point anymore.
I thought he was.
Yeah, I thought he was with the family.
Sure, I have no idea anymore.
I don't remember anymore.
That's why I'm saying, if it's with us, I told it to wait.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's outside. All right. So this guy at the back is going to do some ranged attacks. So it has this thing that it can do 2 times. So you see him kind of like bunch up his, like he's got his hand like he kind of swirls them together. Well, not swirls, just kind of like moves them around closely together, and you can see this like spark begin to grow into like this kind of, not quite a fireball, but something like there is a flame there, and then he hurls it in your group's direction. So who is he going to try and hit? Oh, you know what? He just saw a half orc.
The curtain obscures me. By the power of the curtain, it obscures me.
Yeah, he is totally,
Pay
okay.
no
couldn't
attention
make
to the orc behind the curtain.
Oh,
I've hit the curtain, not the crab.
yeah. Yep. Okay, so it rolls 9, which I think just misses.
Are you serious?
on the first one, and then it does oh, the second one, it makes up for it with a critical hit.
Oh.
Sorry.
Boo.
So he does 13 plus 6 fire damage. Oh, that's the, sorry. Yeah, 13 plus 6 for the critical. So 19 fire damage.
19?
No, 19.
All right, so Palkas is taken out of commission, but half orc kicks in.
Right.
Relentless endurance. So he's. I always like to roleplay this in this way. It doesn't say that you should do this in the rules, but I like to think that he gets knocked down, and he just kind of shakes his head, and then he's like awake again, but he's not dead. And he stands back up with 1 hit, or he's still there with 1 hit point on the ground, prone. I think the prone thing is always effective because he just basically got taken out.
Okay.
I don't know about you. Where's prone? There's prone. Okay.
Alrighty. So that's his turn.
That's a good turn.
He's gonna stand up, and he is gonna move a bit closer. Thorn.
He's no longer prone, right?
What's that? Right.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
I'll take the doodad off.
Excuse me. All right, so Thorn will proceed to do the same thing he has in the past. He sees that there's a lot of crabs and stuff, and he actually moves over in front of Palkas. The only reason I'm having him do this is because he did this last time. And he'll take his bow, and he will shoot at said Barb Devil with his bow. Where's his bow?
So wait, hang on. So he moved. He's happy to take the attacks of opportunity, I take it?
There's nothing next to him.
Which ones? They're all dead.
He was right here.
Oh, sorry.
They're all dead.
For some reason, I thought he was like right there. I was like, yes.
No.
Not that easy.
That's the part of Malvola's plan that Grimm's having trouble with. I can't retreat.
You can disengage.
Spell casting, dread ambusher.
Oh, that's, yeah. It's another reason Thorn would maybe do as he's told. I don't know.
Okay. Start your first of each turn of combat. Your walking speed increases by 10 feet, which lasts until the end of that turn. If you take the attack action on that turn, make 1 additional weapon attack as part of that action. If that attack hits, the target takes an extra 1d8 damage of the weapon's damage type. Oh, okay. So, he's going to do the Dread Ambusher thing, because it's the first round of combat.
Okay.
Oh, and he has an extra attack? Holy crap. Alright, so he takes
Oh,
the
yeah,
attack
you-
action
you-
with the longbow. First shot
Ooh.
at the Barbed Devil.
Okay.
Does that hit?
That does just hit.
Okay. And where's his... Shoot. He didn't do the bonus action with the Hunter's Mark.
Oh yeah, you gotta do that first.
But there we go. Plus the Dread Ambusher bonus. So he takes 16 piercing with silvered arrows.
Okay.
Still standing.
Yep.
Second shot.
He's still standing. That also hits.
And I just want to look to see if Dread Ambusher, does that happen on all 3 attacks or just the first one?
I think it's just the first one.
If that attack hits, the target takes 1d8. Okay. So then he just does this, which is 11 piercing, silvered piercing.
Okay.
And then he does his third attack. Pew pew. That didn't work, did it? Oh, I rolled an 18 and then I
Yeah.
clicked the damage. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yep, you're whittling him down.
And I think that is his turn. I don't think that he has anything for bonus. He doesn't have any spells left. I did 1, 2, 3 arrows down. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. Alright. Then Grimm, over to you.
Also, he heard Malvola say head for the doors. So he's trying to get Palkas on his feet.
Trying to think of how I can still do at least some damage. There's only one way I can do it.
Flurry of crabs.
Oh no.
Falcon punch.
There's only so much damage I can do.
That's
Okay.
always the case.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, bless you.
I'm going to attack the one directly in front of me. That guy.
Mhm.
Alrighty. That hits.
For a whopping 7 points of slashing damage. Then okay, Ray should be able to disengage easily because, well, in theory.
Bonus
So I
action
can
has
use a
to be
key
used.
point to do Step of the Wind and
Right.
get away without an attack of opportunity. I just don't necessarily want to leave Rhea standing there with everything coming at her.
She's fine. She got told to leave. She's also got a crossbow.
Yeah, we'll use a key point. Do Step of the Wind. 1, 2, 3. And back up full movement to there.
I don't believe you
And-
left Rhea there.
And no, in my turn there.
Okay.
Because
So,
the Step of the Wind is my bonus action.
yeah. Unfortunately, the giant crabs get to go before Rhea.
Yeah.
Oh. Oops.
So,
Oh.
they're gonna kind
Yeah.
of
I missed the turn order thing. That probably would have been.
swarm in a little bit. And this one is gonna rush forward here. So giant crabs versus Rhea. Fight. I need some fight music, like you know. They're going to.
I've SpongeBob fight music.
like the string music from different Asian films when
Yeah,
they're doing the martial arts fights.
yeah.
We'll just skip to the end.
So they're going to claw. You see them? They're big. They've got big crabby claws, and they're just going to
Crabby
snap
claws.
at Rhea with these.
Let's do a zoom in.
So
Zoomed out for most of this battle.
hang on.
This
What's her
could turn out very
AC?
badly.
She is pretty decent AC.
You say that now.
What's
Until
her,
you start
what's her
rolling.
AC?
I love the confidence.
She almost made it.
She's
Um,
wearing plus 3 plate mail. She should make something. No.
So you see her kind of like she's ducking and dodging and like fending off these giant claws that are kind of trying to like hurt her, physically harm her, and
And
she
quite possibly cursing my name in the process.
well, she kind of is turning and says to the group, "I will not run away." And
You really can't.
yeah. And as she's turning to say this to you, one of the crabs takes advantage of this kind of momentary lapse in concentration and does grab her with this claw. So she's gonna make
Censored.
she's gonna make a strength check. Oh, okay. Strength check. Go. Okay, she rolled a 7. That's not great. So this crab now has Rhea pincered, like grabs her around kind of the waist area and is kind of like crushing her, and you can see her like the pain on her face as she's getting kind of slightly crushed by this claw, and she's trying to wriggle free. Oh, and I forgot to do the damage as well. Okay, so she does take a little bit of damage from that. Not too bad.
So she's being grappled?
She is being grappled now by this crab.
Yeah, she's not going anywhere. She's right.
So that's...
She's definitely not retreating.
Oh, and then the one attacking Thorn. Almost forgot about that guy.
Dang.
Oh, 7. Nope, he's not hitting anything. So then Rhea is going to try... She's going to use her action and try and break free.
No, this would be a good time for a whirlwind attack.
She rolled a 10, which is not good enough to break free. I think that's her turn. Hang on, let me just double check. Yep.
No second wind option as a fighter to regain health or something.
She's not like
I
equal
don't
level
know.
with you guys.
I don't know.
Yeah, I want to break free. So Malvola.
Which one's getting all grabby hands?
This bottom guy here.
Okay, well, he's gonna get this.
Yeah,
Ouch.
that hurts.
Boop.
And he's dead.
And the one in the middle is gonna that.
Nice.
Right, this guy here.
Yes.
Okay. All right. He hasn't taken any damage yet.
He has now.
Not for long.
There was an undamaged one? What?
Rhea's got a new belt.
There we go.
Well, something to hold up the pauldrons.
Okay. Anything else? Do you want to do any movement or?
Thinking about it. Yes, I'm going to move. I'm going to use the wrong tool in Roll20. I'm going to move here. And as a bonus action, I'm going to activate my new invocation, Cloak of Flies.
That sounds amazing.
Everything in the 8 squares around me, friend or foe, takes my charisma bonus in poison damage every round that they're in it.
Okay.
Wait, 8 tiles around you?
The 8 circle, yeah, the circle
Yeah,
around
right.
me.
You can actually have that visible if you click on your character and choose the cogwheel and then choose an aura.
Wait. What just happened?
He's got a big cloud of flies around him.
And
Bitey,
then
poisonous flies.
and then you can choose, square or not, or by default it'll be a circle, and then it'll have like this little aura around your character of that radius.
Like that?
Yep.
I
like that.
actually don't see it, sadly,
Yeah, I also don't see it.
I see it.
but it's good for Kashcah and you because those are the two important people, I guess.
I think I see part of it down, or no, that's left over from Palkas.
Do you is that on your turn or their turn?
I'm reading it now.
Okay.
How big of an area is it? 10-foot radius?
No,
5 foot.
5-foot radius.
It's not really a radius, it's like a cube.
Okay.
Yeah, because it is up and down too, which is nuts.
That kind of makes sense.
So like that.
You're like Pigpen at the moment.
Yes. Thanks for.
Sorry.
You're the Dragonborn Pigpen.
Any creature that starts its turn in the cloud
Okay.
takes the damage. And there is no save.
Okay, got it. So it starts its turn. Okay. Right, cool.
Which now I'm thinking I should have moved. No, because Rhea would be in it.
Yeah. Anything else? Or I think
That's it. That's all I've got.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I need to find a better way to say next to her. So Lulu is kind of worried about Rhea. So she is going to flutter forward to here, and then she's going to trumpet.
Charge!
Yeah, it's like, and your head explodes. So they need to make.
Can't help imagining that sound as like a kazoo.
I should get a kazoo just for this.
Yeah.
Plus, I've always wanted a kazoo. Let's be honest.
Who doesn't?
Right. Vallen does not want me to have a kazoo.
That's understandable. I also don't want Biscuit to have it. So
Not sure we want Disco to have any musical.
Well, he's already got the most annoying thing ever invented.
no, he
No.
doesn't have a death whistle.
Yeah, he doesn't have an Aztec death whistle yet.
He's not in the room, so it's safe to talk.
I'd like to think that he's probably listening.
No, I hope
whistle.
not.
All we have to do is go back and rewatch this.
Okay, unfortunately that devil is going to be just out of her cone. But these crabs have got it coming. They need to make con saves.
Oh wait, so she gets a cone?
She does get a cone.
like.
Yeah, except a bit more like, hey, stop it.
Sorry.
I'm not going to fight with you over this cone.
I was trying to figure out how to rotate it. Okay.
It's going to be more like that. You know, she's avoiding Rhea, but hitting the crabs.
Gotcha.
But I don't think it quite
It looks
makes.
like hitting.
Yeah,
Is it hitting the Barb Devil?
I don't think it quite does because it should be up against her like that, right? It's
Well,
a
honestly,
30-foot cone.
The squares here on the cone that you chose are actually quite large.
Yeah, I think the cone is fairly misshapen at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's her 30-foot. No, go from the edge of it. She can affect anything in here.
All right. Anyway, the crabs are making
Didn't
con
that guy
saves.
get booted farther away too?
He did, but
He
he moved
did.
up.
Oh,
He
moved
got
back
up and moved forward,
So
but he couldn't move
crabs
very
both failed
far.
their con saves. So there is this like kind of thundering trumpet, and it melts their little crab brains, unfortunately.
How's that unfortunate?
Well, if you're the crab.
Oh.
So that guy dies, and so does that guy.
in Soviet Russia, Snoot boops you.
And then you see her kind of look at Rhea, and you kind of guessing that she's saying something to her telepathically, and then she flutters back this way. Palkas.
Palkas stands up. So let's remove that condition. Casts at the demon a spell. This one, in fact.
Whew!
Uh,
That's too close.
Yeah, the two. Just breathe. Just breathe.
Way too close.
Amazing things are gonna happen one day.
It happened once, and that's the Mistwolf incident.
Yes. It's gonna be the only one of the whole adventure.
the whole campaign. One.
And that would be amazing, but also kind of disappointing at the same time. Alright, so he needs to make an intelligence save.
Yeah.
He succeeds.
Really?
He rolled a 15.
Oh, for
He's
fudge's
a smart
sake.
cookie. So right off the barbed devil. He's not some mindless minion.
Whatever.
Okay, he totally is.
Shoot.
Compared to
he
what
is.
we're probably going to face eventually, yeah.
Alright. So then he spends 2 more sorcery points and then casts Chill Touch. Wait.
Oh, there is one more crab.
Doggone it, and he missed. Okay.
Damn it, I deleted the crabs. I forgot about that guy.
And then he
That
retreats.
before you can do it.
Oh boy.
Having Thorn like pushing him away, saying, "Go!" And he goes back here towards the doors, but not in a direct line. So let's
Okay.
have him go there.
Alrighty. And then Coyra?
Upon seeing Palkas fall to the ground, she has a really bad feeling about what happened. But before she does anything about that, she takes a step forward, tries to use her Thorn Whip again on this little fellow.
Okay. Yes, you hit him. He is dead. Would you
Okay.
like to drag his corpse towards you?
Absolutely.
Giant crab goes sliding across the floor.
And as a bonus action, seeing that Palkas fell to the ground, she doesn't feel good about it. So as a bonus action, she uses healing word on
Mhm.
Palkas.
Nice.
Yeah, crab cakes for dinner, for sure.
Yay! So that's what +5. Yes.
So you have 6.
Yep. 6 strong hit points.
And
Six
still listens to
maximum.
Malvola, moves a bit back.
Okey-doke. Then it is this guy's turn. Let's see. You go for Rhea, Malvola, or Thorn. Let's do a little roll here.
I was gonna say do a coin flip, but that doesn't work with
Please go after Thorn.
No.
Please.
Wow.
Don't.
Alright, so Rhea is 1, Malvola is 2, and Thorn is 3.
He doesn't have many hit points, people.
Alright, so you see him do the same thing again.
Oh.
He is gonna hurl flame at Thorn.
Let's see what Thorn's AC is. Holy bejesus. Okay. Sorry.
The guy's got dexterity like 27.
He also took the defensive armor or fighting styles.
Well, presumably it's not more than 23, though.
No.
Okay, so the first one hits him for 8 fire damage,
Okay.
and then the guy does it again and misses that time. So
Okay.
he rolled an 8 to hit you.
To be clear, I thought he was advancing to melee Thorn and that I could, step into my office kind of thing with him and whip his ass. So I'm not
No.
like trying to get Thorn set on fire, really.
Then he moves behind this column.
Oh no. No.
Yes. He just
Wait,
watched
he moves
all.
where?
He moved.
He went
Crap.
down. He chose down.
He did choose down. You chose down. I mean, just watch this crab troop get slaughtered. There's no like crab cabaret anymore. It's just all gone. It's pants.
Put that over there.
There you go. Thorn's turn. Crabberay, exactly.
Oh no, Nobby's frozen.
Yeah.
He's gonna slowly disintegrate now. Oh gosh.
Oh, the way his face keeps moving.
It's just gonna keep melting at this point. I'm sorry, folks. It's a little Discord problem. So
What's Thorn doing?
Thorn's gonna move over here,
Wow.
and it seriously, you're currently melting on my screen.
Yeah, I
The
see that.
mascot is just shaking his mouth.
It's only gonna get worse.
My face is kind of going like this.
I can't leave and reconnect either, or else I lose visibility of stuff. So, but he's gonna move over here and hold an action with his bow to shoot the barbed devil as soon as it's within sight. How's that?
Okay. There are all these flies, like, as you go past Malvola, it's like, God damn it.
Pretty much.
Take a shower, man.
Alright. Grimm?
Grimm.
Uh-oh.
His brain
No,
is
I'm,
too melted.
I'm here. I'm trying to. I don't think I can get far enough.
Actually, while you're thinking, I'm gonna switch regions and switch back again. Maybe that'll reset things. Hold on. So we're gonna go to. Oh no, you're back. You're back. I don't need to do it. We're good. Okay. Welcome back. Less brain melt.
I can only get to there.
Looks like
I don't suppose I can see the barbed devil from here.
Where are you? Oh, yes, you can. Yeah, here, let me do this.
Laser
okay.
vision.
You see him, like, skulking along this wall here.
He's out of range. No, that only works. That only works if I do an attack action. Well, no, technically I could use my bonus action for a dash action.
Mm-hmm.
Your movement also starts in the next square. Like,
Okay. Burning my last key point
Ooh.
for dash
Okay.
as a bonus action
Zoom.
to there.
That will hit.
No hiding allowed. And that's my action, so that ends my turn.
Okay. He
Takes 8 slashing damage from a silvered sword.
Yep. Rhea is going to follow you.
I was hoping he'd still be within 30 feet. That way we could launch a 40 of sunbolts, but
She is she's not. She's
Back,
gonna
let's
kind
go. We didn't talk about you. You don't have to rewatch the stream.
of. Malvola.
you just made it more suspicious now. Yeah, we didn't say anything about an Aztec death whistle.
I'm not gonna mention that. Oh no, it just.
so
put his
I'm
hands
going
around.
to advance to here and drop the Cloak of Flies.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm gonna give him another.
The boop. That boop hits.
And he's getting both of them because
Oh.
there's nobody else right.
Ouch! That second
Oh.
boop.
So that's the first one. That's the second one.
You and your nat 20s on those boops.
Okay.
I've been saving them up for the entire 20 episodes of this campaign that we've done so far, where I've rolled like in the trash.
Um,
Making up for every episode prior to this one.
Yes.
So he's looking pretty bad at this point. He's not looking well at all.
He looked pretty bad when we started.
Whatever. Lulu's gonna kind of just keep track, make sure everybody's okay. Palkas?
Right. Sure. Palkas gonna move over here.
Okay.
See if he can get a view at what everybody's doing. Maybe he can get a shot off. I think it was there. Yeah, that was the spot. And he's going to try shooting at the guy. Woo! Yeah, he can reach that. So,
What are you shooting him at?
I gotta look. I got some choices.
Oh boy.
No,
What are you buying?
he's not gonna do the one thing. I think he's going to try. Mind thrust again. Oh, that's only a bonus action. That's perfect. Oh, wait. He did that before. He didn't have to spend 2 sorcery points. Because that's only a bonus action. All right, so he's going to use Mind Thrust, which is only a bonus action.
You know, Newbie, you joke about that. Wait, does Mind Thrust have a semantic component?
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh,
I just totally picture like Rocky Horror Picture Show, like Palkas in the middle.
Now, I've told you before what he actually does
Okay.
for it, where he kind of like swings and it like hits
Yeah,
an invisible
I
force.
know, but-
Yeah, you wanted to make it into like some kind of pelvic thrust.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's not the pelvic thrust. Anyway, he makes a DC 14 intelligence save.
Yes, he does. He rolled a 19.
All right. So he takes half damage, and that's it. And then I do a chill touch on him as well. Dang it. Boy, that chill touch isn't going to hit crap. Why am I rolling like Malvola all of a sudden?
Well, yeah, it caps
Wow.
on it.
So rude.
In the first half of the campaign. All right. And that would be it for
Yeah,
him.
you accidentally hit a crab leg that's like still sticking up in the air.
And that's it for him.
Okay. Coyra? You want to
Give
join the
me a
party?
second. Give me a second. Discord is acting up.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, you're all robots to me too.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, the connection rate is really bad.
Oh,
Hold on
yeah.
a second.
Red blip.
Hold on.
Nope. Still red blip.
Just give it a sec.
Yes, but
Oh,
you're not a
oh.
robot.
Jeez, it has to update.
Sorry.
You're not a robot, so that's what counts.
Yeah,
so,
no robot voice.
Coyra see Palkas shoot towards a curtain, and seeing half of the group disappear, she's gonna move forward to see what's happening.
I think most of that curtain's been disintegrated where the crabs are at this point.
Yeah, there are like
Yes,
numerous
but-
crab-sized holes in the curtain.
What I can see is just you shooting towards a curtain. That's all I can do at the moment. Move 6 tiles, right? Is that how it works? The walking?
Yes, 6 tiles.
Okay, good. End of matter.
Okay. Alright,
She's just confused what is going on at the moment.
this dude is gonna so he's not gonna hurl flame anymore because you're in his face. So he is instead going to he has this handy dandy tail that he's gonna whip at you, and then he's gonna try and slice at you with a couple of claws. So,
Of course.
so here we go.
Is he
Tail.
still covering it up though? Important question.
I mean, he's clawing one hand at a time, so it's like.
Okay.
He claws, and then he switches hands and claws.
Yeah, exactly. Hang on a second, I just gotta. If you don't mind. It's like gentleman's rule with him, you know? Okay, so he rolls an 18 to hit you with his tail.
Dang it, of course he does. Because 18 is my AC.
So that's 10 points from the tail.
Oh, good God.
And then the claw, he rolled another 18. I swear to God. I'm not making this up. Oh no. And that's 9 piercing from one of the claws. And then the other claw rolled a 17. There you go. It's the token.
That one misses.
The token miss. Yeah. Okay. So 10
If you had
from the
rolled 3 18s in a row, I would have been really suspicious.
And that's he's gonna
Go ahead, try to get away.
yeah, he is gonna take the he's gonna take the risk because he's pretty sure he's dead next round if he doesn't. Oh, you know what? Actually, hang on. Let me do this a bit because you guys are all right there. So you can kind of see not
See,
around
now
the corner, but
now that the devil's ready to run away, we can all see what's happening around us.
listen, you.
We can see another group of bad guys coming after us.
He is gonna take the risk and run off around the corner.
Which gives me an attack of opportunity.
It sure does. That's gonna hit him.
Come on, come on.
Does not kill him though.
Ah!
Dang it.
Is he hamstringing?
I don't have targeted
Stay where you
attacks.
are.
If only they did have targeted attacks in 5th edition. Was that a 3.5 thing? I forget.
I don't
It
know.
was.
Question: in this situation, if Coyra would use her Thorn Whip if someone tries to run away, can she just stop them from running away? If she hits?
It's not a reaction spell.
No, but I mean, oh no, yeah, it's a spell, right, not a weapon.
So it's not something you can cast in a reaction to somebody.
Yeah,
You'd still be able to see in that area, though, right? That he ran into.
running.
So you can see part of
I
it.
should be able to.
Yeah, you can see part of it, but probably not like. I don't think you have that angle to see like the bit where he went. So he's out of sight, but yeah, you can
So
definitely.
he
see.
went like around the corner, hugged the corner, kind of around the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so that's your distance, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which means
So
if he keeps going around corners, he's going to eventually run into Thorn.
Mhm.
Keep
alright.
turning left.
Sure, keep going that way. Hey, Thorn, he's coming your way.
It's like that. Do you guys? Never mind. All right. So you do see. Sorry. Giant big altar up here, and then there is another curtain back there. This kind of disappears around the corner
There's
over
a
here.
giant rupee in the middle of the room.
There is. I'm not.
was it not a fist?
It is
Out
a
of
fist.
wood?
He's
It's
just.
it's in the shape of a rupee.
No, it's got a fist. I guess it's an altar to Thorn, but
But it's made out of wood.
unusual. But
It is. Okay, so that's what you see. I think I'm being kind of You see the edge of this curtain, but anyway, whose turn is it? That was
Mr.
his turn.
Stabby.
So Thorn.
He was holding his action to shoot at a target before, but that expired. Though he, I assume, would be listening for any kind of direction of where Mr. Devil there would have gone in. So does he need to make a perception check?
I mean, you definitely hear kind of footsteps from like this area over here.
That'd probably be enough for
Frantic
him.
scrabbling.
He'd come through here,
Okay. Yep.
ready to fire.
You definitely see him standing like right there.
Pew pew pew. And he lets loose with 2 arrow shots.
Why am I keeping these covered up? It's very clear that they're. I don't know.
All right. Pew.
That
Pew.
That does not.
There's one black pixel.
10 silvered
Oh, I
piercing.
see it. Okay. Yeah. You get him.
Okay.
Is it that one? Did I get it?
Nope, it's right here.
Oh my
It's
God.
gone.
Okay.
Well, there's one here too, but
Yeah, but that's not annoying me. The one tiny black one was annoying.
There we go. That one's gone too.
All right. So Thorn attempts to retrieve all of his arrows. What? 2.
How many did he spend?
He shot 4.
Okay.
5. He shot 5. I'm sorry. Because he got
He
that
gets
extra.
one
Free,
back.
sir.
Oh no.
Keep in mind, if he gets broken ones back, Coyra can mint them. Hint, hint.
Oh, you're right. So he would try and collect the
bits.
the broken ones. I'm gonna put on here. He's got another resource total, so I'm gonna put it in here. Broken arrows. Let's see.
Considering how haggard Palkas is looking and Thorn is looking, and my state isn't all that great, I'm thinking finding some place to rest might be a good idea.
You do
That's not a bad
hear.
idea.
You do hear from this direction over here ridiculous laughter. Like it's like sounds like a man. And it's just kind of this cackling, almost like insane laughter.
So I agree with your point. We definitely needed this.
Can Malvola see what it is? Seriously. But he's got the super sight.
No, actually. Not at the moment.
It'd be like behind curtains, I'm figuring.
Yeah,
Does
there's,
Rhea recognize the laugh?
Rhea says, I have no idea.
I forgot to move Thorn up to collect arrows from the guy.
So you do see Malvola kind of in this area here. Let me describe that to you because there's definitely, now you're kind of taking it in, stuff going on in that bit. So there's this kind of fairly grim, I'm afraid. Haha, sorry, no pun intended. But it's this pile of bodies is collected. So in this area here, there's some like really nice looking chairs that are all overturned and kind of strewn aside. And there's a pile of bodies in the middle. It looks like...
Is this the same area that I saw through the window when I was up on the roof?
It is, yep.
So it's like a charnel pit.
I'm gonna type turn order down for now.
Bodies. There we go.
It looks like they're mostly like human. Like they're definitely not devil bodies. Definitely not giant crabs either.
Palkas moves back up with the rest of the group. Thorn moves moves over after checking to see if the devil had anything in its pockets, but I don't think it has pockets, so he would
It
have.
does not have pockets.
Okay.
Coyra follows Palkas as she has no idea really what was going on at the end, so she just followed along.
Palkas looks like he's wincing as he walks, but he's trying to give a good front, if you will. And he says, I don't know how much more of this I can take. Or if that laughter is from someone we should save, kill, or run from.
Rhea says, somewhere around here, she says, is the entrance to the catacombs. She says, I haven't seen any sign of anyone from Elturel. Says, if they're not up here, they must be hiding. Says, there's a good chance they're in the catacombs.
Right. Do you know where the entrance is, though?
She says, no, I didn't really spend a lot of time in High Hall.
I'm curious about this altar.
Okay.
Well, is the symbol Torms?
It definitely is.
In which case, I'm gonna murmur a quick prayer of thanks from Grimm's perspective, him protecting us and keeping us alive through all of that.
Okay. Make a religion check. Actually.
Oh God. Yeah, this will go well. Better than I expected.
So as you, so you kind of, are you just standing in front of it, kind of, or are you doing anything like?
Might be like leaning on it a little bit. I mean, I did lose that attack from the Barbed Devil. Took about half my hit points.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly at my peak.
Yeah. So as you kind of lean on it a little and you're saying a prayer, you feel this rush of energy from that you're 100% sure is from Thorn, and it replenishes all of your hit points.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
The other thing that you notice while you're kind of up there, so first of all, this altar is beautifully made, right? It's, well, unless you're Coyra. But
Coyra
it is made of
fighting
wood.
the urge. Coyra is fighting the urge to produce flame at the moment.
And
So
Grimm would be occasionally giving her a look like "Don't you dare."
It's this polished teak wood that is clearly in the shape of the gauntleted hand, symbol of Thorn. And there is a large lever that stands next to the altar. It definitely suggests that it seems like it has some kind of mechanical function.
A lever.
A big old lever.
to
Throw the
fight
lever!
urge
Pull the lever, Cork.
Yeah,
For Coyra.
gotta check the lever. Actually, before I do anything with the lever, I'm not sure if it'll work, but if it worked for me, there's a possibility. Looking over at Thorn and Palkas, because I know they're in not so great shape.
Palkas' sledge is like actually under his arm, almost like a crutch.
I know neither of you are necessarily religious, but I feel better now. And you may want to try what I just did. Place your hands on the altar and even just a simple prayer of thanks. It might work. I don't know. But I feel completely healed. Then I'll take a look at the lever.
Rhea will definitely take your advice on this. She comes up.
Oh yeah, she's not doing too hot either.
She kneels down and puts both her hands on the base of the altar and says a prayer.
And she explodes.
Her head just Brain matter everywhere. Wait, hang on. Religion is...
I hate when I
Seeing
get brain matter all
Thorn.
over me.
Seeing Grimm give like an eye like don't do it to Coyra every so often. Coyra's like to fight the urge, she pulls out her pipe.
the bubble pipe.
There's bubbles in the room.
That's awesome.
It helps her with that wood.
Rhea, well, physically doesn't seem to benefit from the prayer. It definitely seems to kind of like give her a moment of calm, and she takes benefit from that kind of mentally.
Palkas says you'd like us to pray to a giant fist. I don't understand.
It's an altar to Thorn, the god of war and justice. Saying place your hands on the altar and
he'll approach.
speak whatever prayer you feel, and it might. I can't guarantee that it'll heal you, but it might. It seemed to do that for me.
Palkas walks up, puts the hammer down, puts both hands on the altar, and says, "Thank you."
That's awesome. Can you make a religion check, please?
Sure. Bam.
Crush.
Oh.
You replenish all your hit points.
Oh shit. Wow. Palkas goes from like being kind of slumped over and stuff and actually leaning heavily on the altar when he said that, to suddenly standing at full attention and going, and then he repeats it, saying, "Thank you." And he says, "You're right. This was a good decision." And he steps away, and Palkas says, "Thorn, you should try that." And then,
do you think Thorn really would?
He usually does if Palkas recommends something.
That's true. He does follow Palkas' advice.
And Thorn will say, "All right, I don't think it'll do anything," and he'll put one hand on there and say, "Thank you."
Thorn needs to also make a religion check.
All right. Let's see, religion. Oh, he's got the same bonus as I did.
Yeah, Thorn does not benefit from it.
And he says, he just kind of shrugs his shoulders.
Sorry. There was a added bonus for being
Right.
Half
a worshipper of Thorn, a holy monk.
Alright, let's do
Coyra
this.
walks up to Thorn, seeing that he's still so, and she uses Cure Wounds on Thorn. And it was apparently
Nice.
quite well.
That's the benefit of Cure Wounds, that it's much better,
Indeed.
but you do have to touch them.
Yep.
So that's 11.
Okay, now about this lever that I'm pulling now.
And Coyra grabs the pipe again.
Okay.
The whole fist smashes
Oh,
down upon
guys,
us.
by the way, there's this lever over here. Pull.
So,
And the whole thing just falls down.
as you pull the lever, you hear kind of the whir of gears underneath, and the fist actually opens up.
Can you hold on a second? Is Malvola coming over to the altar? Or are you staying way over there?
Okay.
Is he staying over there where it's safe?
See, I was just like, I don't know if Kashcah wants to tell this story and suddenly we're all affected or not, but sorry.
Like, we're all dead.
See you later.
Malvola was like, you idiots.
Sorry.
I work for a completely different type of outsider.
I mean, Coyra doesn't believe really. She just went to help Thorn, so.
So the fist
Believes in
opens up
nature.
like this, right, into like an open palm. And Rhea says, "Oh," she says, "I never knew that's how that happened." She says, "This is how they have it when they're, doing like a spiritual ritual on somebody, and then that person can lay in the palm of the hand, or if there are going to be offerings made to Thorn, they do that so the offerings can be placed in the hand as well. She's like, I've never seen this so close before.
Does it look large enough to put Thorn in it?
Yeah, I mean, it looks big enough to
Could all stand in it.
for a person to lay in it, right? I do want to also mention that as you kind of get closer, right, you can see in this direction, and you see over here.
What direction?
Hold on, I'm
Sorry.
zoomed all the way in.
Sorry.
Yes.
You can see like down here, right?
Okay.
Okay.
And you see the same kind of scene as was in the north end, right? There's all these like super fancy chairs. It looked like they were probably there for worshippers, right? But worshippers of a higher social stature, maybe like some nobility or something like that. And those are all like broken and tossed aside, and in the middle of this area is another pile of what looks like, kind of humanoid bodies.
Question, does it feel like we've been inside this place for a while already?
Yeah, it does feel like.
Coyra actually suggests if we should check on the people outside, if they are still doing okay.
Thorn would volunteer to do that and go stealthy.
She also asks Thorn to look out for the boar.
Yep. And,
Meanwhile,
She has a reason for that.
and he pulls out his bow and says, I will.
No, not like that. I need it alive.
I'm going to start going around the altar looking for more levers.
Okay.
I've never really examined the inner workings of a temple, so I'm curious now.
Mm-hmm. Can you make a perception check for me for examining the altar? Oh. So you don't find any more levers.
I've only got a +7, so.
Oh, Jesus. It's like nothing I can hide from you anymore.
It's only going to get worse.
Oh, God. Save me. You don't find any more levers, but you do notice kind of as you're like looking over everything, that in the center of this now open palm appears to be like there's a section that looks like it has like there's a seam or something, like there's a square section, like that looks like it's like almost like a trap door or something.
Meanwhile, Coyra,
Okay, start looking for ways to open it.
Coyra is just looking in this direction to see if she can see anything.
Oh yeah, okay.
While walking around
Yeah.
the thing that she's not allowed to burn.
I'm hoping somebody's keeping an eye out for whatever the source of that laughter was.
So
I'm kind of on that.
So you do hear, you see more curtain, I'm afraid, Coyra. Kind of you see more curtain, kind of like disappearing.
That's bad news. I don't like curtains anymore. Not in this
So we're
place.
just done with curtains.
Nope.
You do hear, you do hear, not laughter this time, but you hear this like, this voice that's kind of slightly filled. It's like on the edge of lunacy, like there's something that's really off-putting about this voice, and it's a man's voice, and it cries out, "Oh, what a day!"
You could say that again.
And then there's more laughter. And the laughter is overlapping the voice a little bit. So
Coyra goes to... What was her name again?
Raya?
No, little elephant.
Lulu?
Yes,
Lulu.
Lulu.
Okay.
She asks, do you recognize the voice by any chance?
She says definitely not.
Was worth a try.
And again, it sounds like it's coming from this direction up here.
Wait. Okay, that direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you hear another voice, slightly different kind of tone or accent to it, says, "If I'm gonna die, it's gonna be historic." And then there's kind of like there's like a whoop, and then laughter.
Palkas comes around the corner and says to Malvola, I think we should check out what that is before it gets too late.
I'm gonna stop
I
looking
agree.
for a way to open this
Oh, sorry.
trap door.
Hang on.
Well, I was looking for a way to open it, but I'm gonna, after hearing the voices, I'm gonna stop
You hear
just
voices.
in case. Well, it's one of those just in case these aren't friendlies, which likelihood they aren't. I'd rather not show them how to get into whatever might be.
Okay.
Rhea mentioned a way into the catacombs, and if this is it, I'm not going to show them the way.
Okay.
Coyra actually mentions, can you not do the lever again that the hand closes again?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. In fact, I'll pull the lever, destroy Vallen's artwork, and turn it back into a closed fist.
Not gonna make it closed fist.
I'm working on it.
Perfect.
Yeah, so the hand, this great whirring of gears as the hand kind of closes again into a fist.
Oh god.
And the sound doesn't
That's just
draw
not gonna
the
happen.
attention of
No.
those guys.
Sorry, what was that?
I said the sound doesn't draw the attention of the crazies or whatever they are.
They don't seem to be revealing themselves just yet.
Malvola, did you have an interest in checking things out with Palkas in tow?
Yeah.
Are you going
I'm
stealthy?
just.
Sorry,
We
I couldn't
both
resist.
specialize in stealth, don't worry.
What's a stealth?
Palkas says before leaving, he says, we're just going to take a quick peek to see what that is. If you hear a loud noise from us, come
Did you
running.
mean stealthy?
And that was down to the south of us, or
No,
Northeast.
Kashcah was saying it was northwest.
Oh, sorry, yeah, northwest.
okay. I'm kind of thinking to head toward like where the curtain and this column come together.
Okay.
Coyra just waits for Thorn to return.
Yeah.
As else the group is gonna be really badly split up.
The 10-10 that
what?
I rolled for stealth was for Thorn.
Okay.
And the 16-2
Palkas
that I
actually
just
gets
rolled
stealth?
was for Palkas. So
Are you
Wow.
sure?
Wow.
We're actually a
Double that
stealthy
20s.
couple. Look at that.
I
So
didn't even hear you leave.
Thorn, makes his way outside and finds that the woman is still sheltering in this corner here, with the young man and her two toddlers.
How do you guys feel about seafood?
Specifically crab.
Evil Deadite seafood.
This is demonic seafood. Keep that in mind.
Oh, devil seafood. Big difference here.
Sulfuric
You say that
seafood.
like deviled crab isn't a thing.
Right?
I mean, they smelled like sulfur.
They're pre-cooked.
Oh my god. I'm gonna not get food poisoning.
So the Harkina says to Thorn, "Is it safe to come in?"
Thorn says, not quite yet. Just checking in on you and letting you know we're clearing the area out and still got a bit more to go, so just hang tight. And then he...
Don't forget about the boar.
have you seen the pig?
She says, when the last bolt of lightning struck, I'm afraid it took off. I couldn't stop it, and to be honest, I didn't really want to get in its way, so I'm afraid it's out there somewhere.
Okay. And he heads back to the rest of the group.
Okay. All right. So, Palkas and Malvola. So, Malvola, you were peeking through the edge of this curtain, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, let me grab the tool. You see, you see a giant hand. Oh, hang on. But you do see.
How'd that get there?
You do see.
I'm just gonna leave that there for that.
The same kind of spine devil that we saw way back in the Low Lantern Tavern, and he's got these 3 men with him who are kind of crazed looking. Like the look on their faces is one of like sheer distraction, right? It's just there's not much going on kind of behind their visage. Is just kind of one of insanity, really.
Okay.
And that's from what, these guys?
Yeah, and you see one of them is the one that's laughing, like he lets out this laugh, and there's just like there's no reason for it. It's there's nothing that prompted that laugh. It's just
He's just gone.
I think he's like checked out basically.
Okay.
I also assume Thorn told Coyra about the pig. Right?
He'd say that the lightning scared
ran
it off and it ran away.
All what Coyra does is like, damn. And she just looks in the bag of tricks if a new bell appeared or not.
That won't happen till tomorrow.
That's why she's looking. Don't have a sense of time here. Keep
Oh,
it
you're
in
using
mind.
the bag
Not
as
yet.
a timepiece.
It would not appear yet.
Okay.
What's going on, like, beyond this group of people?
Oh yeah. Okay. So let me do that.
Yeah, at best I'd be able to see through see that at best. But
So there is. Let me describe it. Actually, I should give the for reals description, not my half-assed one. So this is a further kind of altar back here. It looks like this is kind of would have been a private chapel, was once set up as a private chapel. But like again, all the furniture is broken and tossed aside, and this altar back here is definitely like completely desecrated. It's the features have been defaced with blood and ichor, and it looks like there's some other like not so pleasant stuff. You see some kind of fleshy looking material on top of the altar. And these guys the spiny devil, oh yep, you just got stealth-orama. It seems like he's kind of like trying to encourage these 3 men forward towards towards the curtain. Like it looks like they're heading kind of
Like they're
like this is their trajectory, right? Heading for the altar.
okay.
Palkas moves over and kind of is trying to see what he's seeing and figure out what's going on.
You've got this half-orc breathing down your neck, Malvola. What do you see?
As I'm like looking, like pulling the curtain back and taking a peek, and Malvola just grins. Like, keep in mind that his head is like a velociraptor from Jurassic Park, so it's like 30-inch all the way around kind of thing. I charge in.
Oh, you charge in? Okay. Boom. All right.
I get directly in the middle. Like, if I have to shove this guy to the side a little bit.
I know what's happening.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
And I cast Arms of Hadar
It's a Hadar party!
at level 3. And I do like no.
Hadar, party of 4. Your table's now available.
Alright. Let me make some.
So
I-
tells me,
I back him
We're
up
gonna
with
do an
a spell attack once he's
Yeah,
done.
we are. So let's do this guy first. Strength.
late
Arms
spell
of
attack.
Hadar.
I'm staying back here.
Question: Arms of Hadar, does they make like a lot of noise or something, or are we behind the
doesn't
hand
really-
still completely unaware?
There's not like an explosion or anything.
You want to describe what
Oh,
it's
shit.
like?
Let me. I have to actually look it up because I remember it's like black tentacles
Mhm.
reach out from me to hit everything around.
Basically, it makes the sound of a whole bunch of celery being whacked upon like a vinyl chair
What?
as
Okay,
as
we
it
don't-
hits somebody. So it sounds like this.
Tendrils of dark energy erupt from you and batter all creatures within 10 feet of you. Each creature in that area must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, they take 2d6 necrotic damage and cannot take reactions until their next turn. On a successful save, they take half the damage but suffer no other. So, yeah, it's a lot of slapping sounds.
In other words, it's more tentacles.
The reason I
Well,
made
it's
that
the
reference.
same entity.
Yeah.
Reason I made that reference is because
And-
I've seen people record that as a punch sound for several movies in the past.
Yeah,
Obscure-
there's some
obscure
really
Vallen
weird
is
stuff that you
obscure.
do as a Foley artist.
Alright, let me get their initiative here. Because they take the damage, but they are all still standing. Alright, Rhea. Where are you? Oop. And Lulu.
Did you say boop?
Always. Have we got everyone? Thorn.
I rolled for Thorn.
He is not
Do you
on
have
the...
his?
Oh, I
I
didn't click.
his
I
token
clicked on the
clicked.
wrong token. He's supposed to have 18 there, so I will roll again. Sorry.
Wow, the snores.
That was a loud pug snore behind me.
She's dreaming. Okay, now I think we've got everybody, right?
I think so.
Joke. Alright, so Grimm, you hear the sound of things being slapped with tentacles. And, some male voices, kind of, some of them are...
Grunting.
Yes, making sounds as if they are in pain, and some of them are just laughing. Yeah,
Yes, my movement will get me just inside the curtain.
okay.
So strength
And within
saving. Do you stay there? Was the I guess because I mean it has a secondary effect. Arms of Hadar.
Oh, right, they can't take reactions.
Yeah.
So, attacks of opportunity,
Sorry.
they can't do.
Son of a bitch.
I mean, I thought that's why you were really going in there was first to activate it and second so you can still get away.
I was expecting to take out these 3 dudes, but because I figured they're just like Joe Schmoes and 14 points of damage and kill the average villager.
Mm.
Well,
Well,
that guy's the one I'm going to attack when it gets to that point. Are you moving, Mel?
I could only get to like here.
I
I don't have that
sure
much.
if you wanted to resolve that before.
Yeah, I mean that's about as far as I can go.
okay.
I imagine that hits.
That does hit, yep. Who you hitting?
That
That guy at the
one
front?
right there.
Okay.
That right there.
And I don't know if that second one hits or not.
Are you hitting the same guy?
Yeah, both. I attack in bonus action sunbolts are at the same guy.
Yeah, that second one does not hit.
Okay. So he takes 8 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
First he takes necrotic, then he takes radiant. Cool. I like that.
All right.
Kind of like mixing matter and antimatter.
Don't cross the streams. Okay. Anything else? I know you've used all your movement. No. You got any bonus?
Yeah,
or?
That's all my movement, my action, and my bonus action.
Oh, okay.
My movement got me just inside.
Gotcha. Coyra, it seems like there's a party behind the curtain.
Curtain party.
Would Coyra have heard anything?
Celery on vinyl.
Also,
that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, this
possibly an outraged growl from Grimm when he saw as soon as he saw the altar.
Coyra walks around the altar. Let's see. Can she see them from here? Or...
you can probably kind of catch glimpses through holes in the curtain, but these ones have not had
enough for me
crabs destroy them. So.
No, glimpses are enough for me.
Okay.
Yep, that works. I'm gonna use Entangle.
Okay.
Let me draw the shape. What was it? How much is it again? 20 feet? Yeah.
20 foot square, so 4 by 4.
Like that.
Just be careful.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, just be careful you don't get Malvola in it.
No,
I mean, Coyra can see too much. She just sees some shapes. She just whatever shapes she can.
Malvola's all about
At which point, it's a good thing Malvola moved.
Indeed.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
Alright, so creature. So they need to make a strength saving throw now, right? That's a now thing, I think.
Yeah, if I recall correct, it's nouting for until the stuff goes down. It's just difficult to win, even if they save the throw team.
Okay, so
it's just to see if they're entangled or not.
The spiny guy, it's okay, right? He's able to kind of like he leaps up off the ground.
He's like, I'm okay. It's okay. Don't worry.
Question: how do you actually see what they need to roll for their strength saving throw?
But he rolled an 8. He rolled an 18, so. But it should say on your sheet,
on your spells list up at the top, it's gonna say what your spell DC is.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. That's what that number is. Thank you. I've not used it in a while.
So the 3 guys. So the spiny devil does fine, right? He kind of leaps up into the air, and to avoid the damage and avoid being entangled. But the 3 guys, they rolled a 9, a 12, and a 5. So
definitely hits them.
Okay, doke. All right, so they are restrained.
Oh, really?
Really?
That's why I started laughing.
Anything else you would? I know you used your movement.
Nope.
Any bonus actions? Or...
Nope.
Right, Thorn.
Thorn going to move around here. Actually, let's see how far he'd move. He'd move over here, and then probably to this square, which would be just behind Coyra, and he would use his Dread Ambusher thing and get an extra 10 feet out of that. Yeah. Should move him up a little bit.
If he is gonna try and shoot through the curtain,
He is.
Then I think I'm gonna start saying, the curtain is there, right?
Okay. All right.
It's partial cover.
So, how do you want to do it?
It will increase their AC.
Okay, that is fine. Let me switch over to this, and he is going to take shots at. He's going to start taking shots. No, he's going to shoot at the spiny devil who is flying in the air, because that's probably the easiest target, with the others being covered with vines and stuff, even though they are easier to hit. He probably sees it taking off and is like, "Oh no, you don't." So wait, his major spell casting. Hold on a second. I just need to see if Hunter's Mark is a spell. Okay. And he's out of spells at the moment. So he is just going to take regular shots with the Dread Ambusher bonus at the Spiny Devil.
Oh. Okay.
You know, regular.
So he does that, and then the Dread Ambusher plus that.
Yeah, it pierces the Spiny Devil directly in his little devil heart, and he kicks the bucket.
They do have hearts.
They're just
Down into the vegetation.
pumping black, foul blood. That's all. Yes.
He then proceeds to try shooting the other guys as well, with the remaining 2 shots he's got.
Okay.
There and there.
So the first one miss. Actually, they both miss.
Okay.
Sorry.
And that would be it for his turn.
Okay. All right. Palkas.
So are these guys still looking pretty insane since the... I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah. If anything, this is like pushing them kind of further, off the cliff.
Palkas moves over here. And he casts a spell. Why do I feel really bad saying that all of a sudden? I don't like this. Last time he cast this spell, bad things happened. That's probably why. But he is going to cast Dragon's Breath on himself. It's a bonus action. So he's going to cast it, and I guess I need to actually... it's a 15-foot cone, which, to give an example, I'm going to delete this as soon as I've done it. It's basically like that.
Okay.
For the area effect.
Okay.
I'll delete that. But he's going to give himself electricity, as that seems to be the element of choice for the party currently. And... where is it? Dragon's Breath. There we go. It's casting it at the level 2 that it is. Okay. It did not Wild Magic Burst.
Alright, so they get dexterity saves.
They do.
Alright, let's start with the guy at the top.
But they're also restrained.
That's a good point.
I'm bringing up the rules on it. Restrained. Speed 0, can't benefit from any bonus to speed. Attack rolls have advantage, and creatures' attack rolls have disadvantage. Has disadvantage on dex saving throws.
Okay. That guy still somehow succeeded. So they just have to meet the 14, right?
I guess so.
Yeah,
Yes.
meet or exceed.
Yep.
They all succeed.
So then they'll take 7 points of electricity damage.
Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, I think it is because he's seriously toning it down, considering it malfunctioned.
Yeah. Maybe it's not so much about their success, but about Palkas being afraid that it's actually going to do something different.
And he had moved from... where was he? He was over here. He's still got, like, plenty of movement left, so he's gonna retreat back here. Yeah. So he's gonna go back to the square around the corner and take some cover.
Righty. Rhea, who was kind of still kind of almost in prayer, still at the altar, is going to make her way over. How close can she get? Yeah. So she moves inside the curtain here. She gets here and almost enters that area, and then it's like she's trying to remember. She sees the entanglement going on, and and then remembers that it's only the folks that start in that area. So, all right. So that's Rhea's turn. Malvola.
she's not. Excellent. I use my breath weapon on these two guys. They're-
Nice.
I'm
Dodge
suddenly
those
having a very
motherfuckers.
bad day.
You're like, hey, you know what? Breath weapon's not a bad idea. Jeez.
Alright, so those two guys, dexterity saves. Let's see if they can do that again.
Hey, with disadvantage.
Oh, that's an
Ah.
11. That one is not gonna. That's a 19, so that one is. Alright, so this guy closest to you fails. So he takes the full 8. And this guy takes 4. Alrighty. He's firing his laser.
Oh,
So it's their turn now, and let me look at this. So they can
oh, yeah,
use
and
their
I wanna
action. Oh, hang on though,
Uh-oh.
because weren't you were right there, right?
Yeah, that'd be an attack of
Yeah.
opportunity.
He's still
I'm
gonna.
okay.
Are they not still entangled?
They
Yeah,
are-
but that's their legs, not their arms.
They,
Oh yeah, right.
they are at
They
They
disadvantage.
can't move, but they can still attack.
He can still do a thing.
Sort of.
Okay.
He swings a scimitar at you, and rolls a 13 with his disadvantage. What is it? Advanced turn one?
My armor class is 18, so
What's an armor class?
it's a thing you don't have. It's the thing that makes you not get turned into hamburger.
Alright, so so the rest of them are going to use their turn to try and break out of this entanglement, and they all make it except for that guy, this guy right here. He does not make it. So that's their turn though.
So we can tell how their stats are balanced, because he's the one who's also keeps making the dex save. But he fails the strength save. There's the rogue. Stab him.
Alright. So Grimm, your turn.
Yeah, why not? It's been a while since I've used it.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go right there,
We're pulling out all sorts of old
which puts
tricks.
me within 10 feet.
Oh! The whip!
Yes.
Which one?
The one at the top.
Okay. Alright.
And for my bonus action,
What? Hacks.
Ow! Jeez.
He's using
Put the sword away.
No kidding.
it's a whip, not a sword.
Come on,
That's
Indy.
why I'm saying put the sword away.
Uh-huh. Stick with the whip, Indy.
Wow.
Alright.
Okay, yeah, that ridiculousness ends my turn. Couldn't think
Alrighty.
of a word to describe the odds of getting 2 nat 20s in a row.
Fortuitous.
Yeah, that too. So he's got a couple deep
Yes.
lacerations.
He is not looking good.
Breaks
that's
out of
for
the
sure.
lines to get whipped.
Coyra moves behind the curtain just to see what her entanglement did. She's happy that it actually didn't hit any friends. And she's gonna use her
Happened,
Thorn Whip on
I was
wait,
just-
wait, on this guy.
Alrighty.
I didn't look at my roll yet. I guess the hits.
That does hit.
Full 3 damage. Woo!
On which one? The one that's restrained?
No, this
The one,
guy.
this one.
Oh,
Are you pulling it? Or...
Nope.
Okay.
I was just thinking though, what if you had attacked the one that's restrained? What would happen if you tried to on something someone that's already restrained.
See, I think he would become free. Like you're pulling him out of the
Yeah,
mist.
but
Would he take damage though from getting pulled out of the
No, 'cause it doesn't.
mist?
Neither of the things. Well, the whip does damage.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if your feet are entangled in whatever and you get suddenly pulled out, it would hurt, wouldn't it?
Possibly.
It depends on how hysterically laughing you are.
Yeah.
Touche.
I seriously think that guy is like completely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs at this point.
Yeah.
So
This is the guy that's laughing, and he's just been kind of tearing at these vines that are at his feet, and he's just laughing like maniacally. Hence, not making very much progress. Right. Thorn.
Oh, sorry. I'm
Did
like
you-
waiting for Thorn. I forgot I'm covering for him today. All right. Thorn proceeds to shoot.
Okay.
He's good at that. He shoots the. There's one guy restrained right now, right?
There is.
He
This
shoots that guy.
is laughing
Yeah, he shoots him.
maniacally. Shoot him. That will hit him.
All right.
Okay.
And I don't know if that hits.
It did hit.
It is.
Oh, sorry.
It's 15 because he's got
No,
advantage.
that does not hit.
Okay. And that is it for him.
Alrighty.
Yeah, he might move up a bit. There we go.
Alright.
doesn't want to move inside the curtain.
Right.
Oh, you're right. Okay, yeah, he moves inside the curtain. There you
So
go.
that he doesn't get the negative, you know.
Sorry, I keep. Never mind.
Okay, Palkas, it is your turn.
Palkas moves over here. Bleh. Does the same thing again. Lets loose an electrical flame breath, or electrical flame breath, an electrical breath weapon in the same group again.
Electric belch.
Yes.
So they get dex saves.
Yep.
Okay. That one. Oh, but they get disadvantage. Oh no, that one doesn't because he's not restrained anymore. So, so he succeeds. That one that is restrained also succeeds. He's like laughing in your face while dodging out the way of your breath weapon. And this one, curiously, does not succeed.
Okay. Oops, I just did the wrong thing. So.
Right, so hang on, let me do this here. So, does that. He does that. And he gets that. Alright.
All right, so
These
he's
guys are pretty
gonna
beefy.
retreat behind the curtain.
Gotta love Palkas's hit and run moves.
Yep, that's what he's all about. And actually, yeah, before he goes behind the curtain, he's going to use his bonus action to hold on a second. Now he can burn 2 of his sorcerer points to cast Chill Touch on the restrained guy. Aha, and a good thing because he needs that advantage to actually hit him this time. 7 necrotic damage.
Okay. Yeah, that guy has got about a fifth of his life left.
And he cannot heal for 1 round.
Okie doke. Alright.
That finishes Palkas's turn.
Rhea is just going to kind of stride forward into the entangled area. And swipe at the guy that is mostly dead with her longsword. And she actually misses the first hit, so she's gonna have to do that again. Come on, Rhea. Okay, that's better. She hits him. And finishes him. Okay.
She miss.
No, she hit with the second one and finished him.
Okay.
She only hit because he was entangled.
Right. I'm like, we're only hitting these guys because they're entangled. This is...
Malvola.
Is it another Hadar party? No.
No, because I'm out of stuff.
He's out of parties.
Hadara's tucked out.
You need
So
a
I'm tucking
party
out.
refresher. Oh dear.
I'm gonna just cast Eldritch Blast, targeting one at each of the guys.
Okay.
Boop boop. Eldritch boop.
So the second one hits.
That's for 12.
I'm gonna say that the second one was at this guy, unless you have.
I had my sheet open, so I didn't see who you...
Like, do you have a preference? Which one was the first and which was the second?
Not particularly.
Okay. Then I'm picking that guy at the bottom, so he takes 12. All right. And then it's their turn.
We might actually get to see what these guys can do.
Finally, right? Not a lot.
Where's the fun in that?
This guy
Even
turns,
before these were good guys turned crazy.
turns and says, kind of shouts in Rhea's face, "Today is a good day to die," and swings at her with his scimitar. He swings at her 3 times.
Ooh. 3.
Friels, what's these guys' issue? They are just nuts.
That's usually an issue.
Yeah, I mean,
So she takes 1 hit from the 3. One of them clangs off her armor, and the other one she's just able to kind of dodge out the way of. So. Lulu is fluttering around, looking a little bit panicked, but is not going to do anything this turn. And Grimm.
Let's do round 2 of punishment. Okay, not quite as good, but I imagine that hits.
That does hit.
So there's 7 again, the one closest to me.
Okay.
The living one closest to me.
That also hits. And you finish
So a
him.
total of 15 slashing damage.
Yep, you finish him.
Defile Thorn's altar, will you?
I actually forgot to have that guy do anything, didn't I?
Well,
that's
too late
my
now, you
mistake.
did.
Yep, that's my mistake.
Well, no, you could
No,
still
nah,
retro.
it's good.
That ends my turn.
Okay. Coyra?
Coyra is gonna move up to here. And it's gonna do what she's decent at. I'll say when I'll probably miss.
That does miss. Yeah, unfortunately. Sorry. If he was entangled,
See,
you'd hit, but he's not anymore.
Whips from the one side, whips from the
I
other side.
Electricity breaths from one
Right.
side, electricity breath from the other. We just made
Not
this
a
mosh
bonus
pit of
action.
death for these guys.
Alright.
I just realized something I could have done, but it's not a bonus action.
Okay.
Just need a lightning lash or 2.
Thorn?
Oh, well, so
Thorn
what I could
shoots
have
him.
done.
That's what Thorn does
Thorn
really
is
well.
Thorn
See?
is really creative.
I told you he does it really well.
Ow!
Frickin' hey.
Yeah, you pierce this guy with an arrow kind of straight through, like, straight into the meaty part of his chest, and he like coughs some blood up at you, and is now having serious trouble breathing, and he's kind of swaying wildly as
The
Oh.
sway threw him off. He thought he was dead.
yeah, he's so close.
He tried to miss Rhea. Oh shoot, that was another arrow. Okay. Excuse me.
Palkas.
I don't know that Palkas has many more
So-
tricks up his sleeve here. I mean, he's still got those. Oh, hell. Palkas takes a step forward. Lifts the flap open on his torch bag. And
Really? You're gonna finish him with a torch to the
no,
face?
he actually is going to use one of the daggers
Oh,
that he's got in there. He's got 13 daggers in there, so
He hasn't cast catapult in a while, so you know.
Yeah,
right.
true. I
So
was hoping for a burning torch.
he's gonna.
I mean, there's plants on the ground.
Guy needs to make a dex save.
And that 3's a little too close to a 1.
Should it?
he rolled a 20 for
it's
his
not a
dex
one.
save.
Okay, so it swings wild
Okay.
and bursts against the wall.
I don't know how this dude rolled a 20. Okay.
And then I don't think. Yeah, he doesn't have enough sorcery points for anything else there. That would be the extent of Palkas' turn, besides moving back around the corner.
One day you're gonna go back around the corner and there's gonna be like something even
There's
worse
like a
back
giant
around.
mute.
Well, he's only got partial cover there, but he still can see what's going on. There we go.
Rhea's like, I guess I'm gonna finish him. Maybe. I don't know. She's gonna turn and swing at the guy. Let's see. Maybe she can do it. 13 does not hit. And neither does a 12. She misses with both attacks. Malvola. This guy is like...
No, is this Laughing Boy or is this the other guy?
It's the other guy. Yeah, Laughing Boy died.
Laughing Boy died wrapped in the vines.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the guy with Matrix moves.
Yeah.
Dodging everything.
He's got like minimal life left. You
Yeah.
just look at him wrong and he's gonna kill him.
He had a minimal life before.
I'm going to.
Ouch. Don't judge him like that.
He followed around a spiny devil. What do you want?
I'm going to. I gotta look at how this spell works.
Malvola. Punch! A spell. Oh boy. And he's got to look it up. Have we seen this one yet?
I think so. I haven't used it that much, and honestly, I should use it more than I have. Okay, I'm going to cast Wrathful Smite, which is when I hit on a melee attack in the next minute, it has an effect. So I swing my flail at.
That's a good swing.
That's gonna hit him.
Okay, he has to make a DC 15 Wisdom save.
Nice.
Actually, does the 10 take him out from just
Yeah.
hitting him with the mace?
Yeah.
Okay.
You set that up
So-
really nicely. That's pretty good.
So he fails the save and takes the psychic damage as a corpse. Awesome.
I meant the macro you got set up for there. That worked pretty good. It's very nice.
There we go.
That wasn't a macro. That's just
I know.
what
You,
Chums would roll 20.
but you set it up in roll 20 very nicely. Is what I was trying to say. Anyway.
So he's down.
He is down.
Right.
Is there any more clicking, clattering, laughing?
Should kind of stand there, taking a breath for a moment, listening.
Yeah.
I'm going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Oh, crap.
Oh, that was these guys.
So you might hear some growling, but that's just Grimm.
You don't hear anything. It's eerily quiet.
Palkas slowly comes out.
Too quiet.
It's too quiet.
Okay, how are these guys dressed?
Oh, that's
Wrapped
a
in
good
Vine
question.
vines. They're currently wrapped in vines.
Hang on 1 second.
Speaking of which, Coyra lowers the plants.
Eh.
Let me see how I do that.
You don't have to do anything. You just say that you do it and it happens.
No, I mean the square way. I made the square.
Oh, that, yeah. That I don't know what to do.
Coyra goes up to Thorn and actually asks, "Do you have any broken arrows?"
He says, "Yes, let me get the rest of them." And he moves forward and starts collecting arrows off the corpses and off the wall over here, I guess. Maybe over here. You know, where some might have flown.
Mm-hmm.
He tries
How many did you?
He had 24 to start. 4 were there. 4.
And how many broke ones do you have?
I'll let you know in a second.
You get 3 back.
Yep.
He has 5 broken arrows.
How many
So
of
how
them
are-
can I repair?
So, mending, right? I think
Yeah,
it's going to
if
do
you
one
want,
at
I'll
a
click
time.
on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, one at a time for sure.
Mhm.
Want me to click on it so it pops up on chat?
It's alright, I found it. Oh, it's just
Okay.
a cantrip, right? So
Mhm.
you can just
Mhm.
spam it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
so...
it takes a minute for each mending, but not every mending might succeed. That's what I'm
Yeah, you just have to have all the parts
thinking.
there.
Mhm.
How many are you... Sorry, I was thinking about the dudes.
No worries.
How many are you trying to mend?
He's got 5 broken
The-
arrows.
The
That's-
amount that Thorn hands me.
Okay, so 5. So you're able to mend 3 of them.
Okay. I'll look at Thorn and I'll say, sorry,
Oops.
but these 2, they're lost. There's nothing I can do. I can set them on fire if you want.
Fire
No, you
arrow?
wouldn't.
He's just happy
Come
that
on.
you got him a few more arrows out of what he had, so.
Okay, so these guys are dressed in oh, hang on, let me see if they have any. They have like studded leather armor on. They have like, it looks like, just a belt with a couple of scabbards on. Like they've got some dagger, a couple of daggers like in their belt. And they don't look like they're regular residents of Avernus. They're not devils by any means. They're humans.
And the altar, is it a stone altar or a wooden altar?
Well, that's a good question. Hang on, let me scroll down to that. It is a stone altar.
They weren't dressed in like, the garb of the guards here or something like that, or else Rhea would have said something, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah, they're
Well,
not.
no, there's a reason. The one that Grimm was whipping, he walks over, picks him up, carries his body over to the altar and uses him as a makeshift mop across the top, and then tosses him to the side of the room.
Okay. So you can kind of push
That's why I was
it.
wondering what they were wearing and how it would affect the altar. Basically, I want to get at least the bulk of the gunk off of.
Question: would there be anything that would be looted by? I think it was Grimm. Sorry, I had to bring it up.
No, it's a really
You
good point.
haven't looted anything today.
You know what? I think so far, I mean, what you guys have seen, like two devils who don't really have like very many physical belongings on them, and a bunch of crabs. And at the moment, I think Grimm is just so pissed off that he's like, there's
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
But it's a really
looting.
good point.
I'm using the body to clean off the altar, and then I just toss it aside.
Mhm.
Basically, I'm putting those gauntlets to use, and then I'm going to kneel in front of the altar. I don't know if I can try to reconsecrate it or not, but just the fact that it's desecrated like this offends me.
So you think that well, if you
I'm not expecting healing because I don't need it, but I just
Oh, you mean this altar?
I'm offended by what's happened.
Mhm.
I was thinking about the hand, so I was like, what? Makes a lot more sense.
Well, while he's doing that,
Basically,
probably
kneel,
Malvola
pray,
and
apologizing
Palkas
to Thorn for what's happened, that kind of thing.
Could you make another religion check for me, please?
God,
And the
I
others
really
are
should
probably
have taken religion instead of medicine.
Oof. Spent too much
Sorry.
time in fighting class.
It's like
I
you're so
never said I
angry.
was a good priest.
At least you're trying.
Um,
You know, I'm kind of like alkalite or something. You know, novice as far as priest goes. So I take it no effect.
that is correct.
So
I'm still gonna spend a little bit of time praying.
Question, is it turn order over?
Oh yeah, sorry. Get rid of that.
I would assume that
And
Palkas, Malvola, and perhaps Thorn, because he was removing arrows from the corpses, inspect the bodies to some extent for any valuables or useful items that we may want. Information, even.
So the three men each have a couple of daggers and a scimitar and studded leather armor. But they don't seem to have any kind of otherworldly belongings on them.
although the one that Grimm used as a mop, rag, whatever, is probably somewhere over there now.
Palkas gathers 6 daggers.
Okay.
And let me guess, he sticks them in his satchel.
Yep.
His ammo satchel.
Yep. It's only got space in there for 2 more.
Might you be interested in renting some storage space?
What are you buying?
Potion!
Oh no.
Holding back.
We're
Okay,
going
since
into
there seems to be
battle.
no further
Sorry.
It's after battle.
immediate threats, I'm going to go back to the main altar,
Mhm.
throw the lever to open the hand again. Now I'm going to see about opening that trapdoor.
So as you kind of like as you're
Unless I
throwing,
get jumped somewhere between altars.
but as you're throwing the lever to open the hand again, you kind of just so it's alongside the the hand, and you have to kind of like pull the lever, and you're standing, and as you pull, your eye kind of catches like the corpse piles, and it's like, oh, they probably have stuff.
Do I at least pull the lever before I start heading over there?
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
let's pull this.
Yeah, but
Oh.
it's just like this kind of like, ooh.
Those damn gauntlets.
Oh, they're so good.
So, I mean, up
So
to
does
you which
anything in particular
direction
catch my
you
eye?
head.
Oh, he's north. He went
Okay,
north.
you're north. Right.
I went up to where the bodies were.
Make a perception check. Yeah, there's bodies north and south. But,
I didn't realize that. Why couldn't I roll that well for Constitution save?
you see one of them, one of the bodies actually, before you even get a chance to kind of like look over the stuff, one of the bodies opens their eyes.
Oh, jeez.
It's like, oh,
Is the head backwards and everything too?
no.
I'm trying to figure out how I would resolve this.
Punch it to death.
got-
No, just kidding.
Okay, you've got the riot of emotion.
Yeah, from the desecrated altar, and and what the heck is this? Like, is that like? There's a giant jellyfish on the wall. What is that?
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
What are you talking about? This?
No. If you zoom out,
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
look at this. What is that?
Oh,
It's
no.
one of those corals from SpongeBob.
Sorry.
I guess
Oh,
it's supposed to be a
that. You said that it was
No.
desecrated.
It's a
Look,
mushroom.
Further north.
There we go. Because he cleaned it. Oh, here.
This thing.
Gotcha.
Okay, the more
Up
moderate
there.
reaction, I'm guessing, or I'm thinking. I don't try to do physical violence, but with a growl, I reach down and grab the clothing of the one that opened their eyes and haul them to their feet.
Jeez. I hope they don't have spinal injuries.
I
Grimm's
don't think that
Grimm's
matters.
a little
for
too
some-
annoyed right now to care.
So they appear to be a halfling. They are dressed in
Irony of it.
Yeah.
they're dressed in very simple clothing. Yeah.
No,
Kind of
just
it's
knotted hair.
oh, hang on. One sec, let me look.
Doesn't appear to be a monk, does it?
No, he does not appear to be a monk. He oh, what was I saying? Yeah, so he's dressed in very simple clothing. He looks a bit malnourished.
Okay.
And he says in common, "Please don't kill me."
I won't,
I will.
provided you're on the right side. Who do you serve?
He says,
Oh God.
I serve Sylvanus. I'm dedicated to Sylvanus.
In which case, hand comes away.
I forget who Sylvanus is.
What?
She's the leader of the undead people in
Thank you.
Wait, what?
I said I forget who Sylvanus is.
I have no idea who that is.
In World of Warcraft. There's the same character. There's a character with the same
Yeah.
name. That
Oh,
is like
gotcha.
the Queen
Okay.
of the Undead.
Sorry. No,
It still means nothing.
No,
to
in this case, he'd be like Forest Lord, a god typically followed by druids and the like.
yeah, he's a god of nature.
Little
I
difference
should
between
know
this and
about
World of
that.
Warcraft. Little, you know.
Okay, so you're not with the devils and demons. What are you doing laying up here in the midst of corpses?
He says, I'm been hiding. He says, they thought I was dead, so I pretended to be, and they didn't. I got away with it somehow. He says,
Grimm, you're a predator. You should understand the idea of playing dead to survive.
He's got good stealth check skills. Keep this one.
wow.
Mhm.
He's a halfling. They're usually good at that shit.
I would say so. I think
Okay.
you're fairly distracted from gathering stuff.
For the moment. At
I think
least.
he found his knick-knack.
In the
It's a
shape
little
of a
bit
halfling.
too big to fit in my pack, though.
Never know.
Not if you fold them right.
Yeah.
I know this. I've done this. You were there.
We're looking for
No.
a refuge
So rude.
that might have survived.
He says, "Who are you?"
Our companion Rhea suggested we check here in the High Hall, but all we found so far is demons and the like, or devils.
He says, "Who are you?" He says, "You don't look
I'm
like
Grimm.
you're from Elturel."
Actually, we came from Baldur's Gate.
His eyes get quite big at this. He says, "How did you get here from Baldur's Gate?"
Too many questions.
Magic.
There was an otter
There was an
and a spell.
This,
It's
What's the
true.
other? Pop up the other.
he gets like
mentioned.
really
Don't need to
confused. Really confused at this revelation.
The otter was a wizard. He cast a plane shift spell, sent us here. We're looking for Elder Ravengard or I can't remember. Ravengard. That's the only part I remember.
He says, "I think he's in the catacombs, but there was also a group that they snuck out. But I couldn't get a good look at them. I was buried in amongst the bodies, and he kind of like is looking down at the the dead people that were he was taking, refuge in amongst."
These catacombs. How do you get into them?
He points to the big altar.
Okay. So that's
Oh
where
my
the
God,
trapdoor
I just
leads.
What's everybody else doing while Grimm is pulling levers and digging up
Interrogating.
halflings?
Palkas took some daggers. Thorn would be checking behind the north and south curtains here.
Okay. He finds stairs up
Okay.
and also stairs up.
Okay. And then he'd come back and say, "Oh, stairs up on both sides behind the curtains. Rayo, where do they lead?"
She says, those lead to residences, I think.
People live in the church? Not just on the grounds, they actually live in
what-
this cathedral.
Priests do.
She says, the holy men do, yeah. But I've never been up there. She looks a bit like, I don't really know, what's up there.
I think we should just make sure that this entire ground level is completely clear before we head up and inspect further for possible survivors. I see that Grimm has gone off in that direction. I'm going to head over and check that southern area where we saw those bodies and see what there is to be found there. And conveniently, Palkas says, "I will go with you."
Okay.
I
so
don't
they're
know
doing that.
what the rest are doing.
What about you,
Coyra is
Malvola?
just blowing bubbles to prevent fires.
Okay. Must resist
He
setting
really
things
wants
on fire.
He really wants to.
The real reason why you
Well,
have the bubble pipe is to
Indeed.
control your
It's a
pyromaniac tendencies.
It's a
Well,
distraction.
considering Grimm's reaction to the desecrated stone altar, if you set the big altar on fire, how do you think he's going to react?
See, there's a reason Coyra is really not. She's really trying not to set it on fire. The looks Grimm gave already, just his reaction to the alt, it's like she's in danger if she does it, but she has to.
Some wood may have died naturally and just was repurposed. Put on display in a very polished form.
How about you, Malvola? What are you up to?
I'm kind of trying to keep an eye out for more, stuff coming at. I'm. It's been like one thing after another since we stepped inside this place,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not satisfied that it's done. Like I know there's gonna be some other group of something that's gonna come at us from somewhere, and I want to be ready.
Okay.
Why don't you head up with Grimm then, so that we're at least in twos?
That would be a good idea.
Coyra's just watching Rhea.
Yeah, Rhea's gonna kind of actually come over and stand by the altar. And Lulu is probably gonna flutter around there as well. Until Lulu sees that Grimm is talking to somebody new, in which case she'll kind of make her way in that direction.
Okay.
Alright. So
I don't know what order stuff happens in from here,
I
so
have a token for that.
Hmm?
Well, you guys were checking that, so let's go back to Grimm.
Mhm.
Well, once he stated that the trapdoor is in the big altar, probably would have tried to get the halfling to join him going down to the altar.
Okay.
I mean, if he knows how to get into the catacombs, he'd be able to open it.
Okay. Yeah.
If that's what we decide to do.
Yep. So the halfling will kind of follow you over there.
Is it anything of
And
this?
kind of bring Malvola quickly up to speed. Yeah. Servant of Sylvanas been hiding among the corpses. Catacombs downstairs. Doors in the altar.
So you guys are checking out that area down there.
Did anything get seen up in the northern area while they were up there? I know it's still like mostly in dark squares.
Yeah, I mean
There's a jellyfish.
there is that's what I was saying. Weird ass jellyfish.
It's a mind flayer. We're dead.
Not
Oh wait, that's a squid. Sorry.
Same thing.
Look,
There's another jellyfish.
I know, there's another jelly. It's a weird jellyfish.
There's a bunch of them.
It's a good thing Palkas didn't go up there, because you know what he thinks tapestries hide
North
these
and
days.
south by the look of it.
I mean, he has good reasons to dislike tapestries.
He doesn't dislike them, he just thinks that they're hiding passageways now.
I mean, of course
That's
he
what they're
would.
there for.
Alright.
Right?
Right. Oh, there's some down here. Okay then. So the two of them will head down. Thorn will start checking. Thorn and Palkas would start checking the bodies to see, by what means they may have perished. At least I would assume Thorn would be checking those kind of details. What kind of items might be among them that might help give us a clue as to what happened here, or anything for our path. And Palkas would get distracted while helping Thorn by these what we're calling jellyfish, but I know are some kind of curtainage or tapestries or something. He would then proceed to go to each one and touch the wall behind them, push the curtain aside, touch it, and then do that with each one of them.
Go again.
Hit it with his maul.
No, he's just swiping his hand down it to make sure it's real and
Mhm.
looking to see if there's a door seam or something like that.
Did this halfling say anything about that? I know he mentioned the catacombs, but did he say that the refugees are down there?
He
can't
did
remember
not.
now.
He said that.
No.
That's.
Okay.
He said Older Ravengard would probably be down there if he was here.
Yeah. Yep. He said he saw some people sneaking out of there, but he couldn't see who it was.
So I'd ask him about if he knows if there are any others down there.
He says, yes. He says, at one point, he said, before I got caught in one of the waves of attacks, he says I was helping them, survive down there. He says I was helping the people gather up down there. He says I gave them some good berries. I says, and then another wave of attacks came through, and I was caught in the midst of it, and the rest.
In which case, I'd turn to Lulu, since she can fly, and ask her if she'd be so kind as to collect our friends from outside. If there are refugees down there, that could be a safe place for them to go.
She will telepathically answer you. She says, "Yes, I agree. They may have some family down there," and she will zip off. She flies very fast, actually. She's like, zzz.
Hummingbird speed. Just thinking it might be a good idea to have them in safety before we continue exploring.
Yeah. The halfling says, there's some kind of hatch in the middle. Says that's how we were, coming and going.
So what's the results of Thorn and Palkas' investigation?
Okay, so the dead bodies that you find down here, they are all dressed as variety of kind of social standing, but they're all commoners, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's, some people in fine clothing, some people in, much more like kind of normal, I guess, not so fancy clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And none of them seem to be armed, but they were all certainly cut down, by, you see, Thorn sees some claw attacks, bites, blades, variety of kind of
Blast marks.
wounds have taken them down.
Okay. And Palkas found nothing of interest behind the tapestries?
Nothing of interest behind the weird little curtain bits.
And he'd peek behind here as well.
Okay. You see there is nothing of interest there either.
I see a template.
Oop. Okay. Let's do that. Yeah. That's it. There's a window.
And there's a window, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Upon finishing that, they would try and, I guess, regroup with the others towards the center of the room. If that's where people are grouping. To much astonishment, finding a survivor. Am I right?
Well, half of one.
No. Jeez. Upon which Palkas walks up and says, "You found one alive." And he reaches a hand out towards the halfling and says, Are you
I'll fix that.
Are you unharmed?
Not for long. The halfling says, mostly, I've been able to overcome my the wounds that I received during the attack.
Palkas takes out some of the food and says, "Here, it won't taste very good, but at least it can offer some nourishment." And Thorn offers the whole water skin, because he's done that like twice already now, I think. So, and then Palkas would ask him his name.
Oh yeah.
Instead of halfling.
Hey, you halfling. He says, "My name is Seltern."
Would you mind putting it in chat?
I will do so.
Thank you.
There you go.
And Palkas would introduce himself, and Palkas would also introduce the others, and say, "We found others of the city. Do you know of Harkina or teenage boy that I forget his name?"
You decided
Was it
his
not
name was
Harry?
Jeff.
That was Gary.
Gary,
No,
that was it.
Gary.
Oh yeah, Gary.
Yep.
He says, "No, I don't recognize those names."
Are you skilled with any weapons?
He says, "My quarterstaff, but I don't know where that is."
He's also a servant of Avernus.
This is all good.
And I believe, or he's let me know that there's the possibility there may be refugees below in the catacombs.
To the catacombs!
That may be where they're hiding. So I'm thinking, unless anyone has an objection, might be a good idea to take Harkina and the children down there.
I thought that was the whole reason we brought them with us.
Right.
Well, it was to get them to the
To find
refugees.
survivors and put them with them.
Thorn,
Yeah.
Thorn does speak up at this point and says, "That's a good idea, but there are residences above this as well."
Selton will say, and he points kind of to the west. He says, "That side of the cathedral," he says, "the upper floors have been demolished." He says, "Those were the, you may have seen the towers from the outside had toppled." He says, "When we were searching before the second wave of devils attacked, he says, we couldn't even get up the stairs."
So were you part of the rescue efforts?
He says, if there has been rescue, I don't know of it." He says, "I was just trying to help people get to the catacombs."
Fair enough. There's some extra blades over there, and Palkas kind of aims over in this direction where those guys were left. He says, "If you care to bring a weapon, otherwise you're welcome to join us."
He says, "I'd rather not use a blade." He says, "I do have some magic that I can depend on." He says, "And I'll find a substitute for my quarterstaff soon enough."
Palkas calls for Coyra, sorry.
No worries.
Says, "Come join us, we have a new companion." And,
Okay, sure.
and Thorn asks Grimm if he found any other stuff or information or whatever over there.
I stopped looking when I found Seltern here.
Well then.
Coyra quickly asks Palkas, like, is he gonna join us and can he defend himself?
And Palkas looks over at Seltern, says, "Ask Seltern. Seltern this is Coyra.
You're asking Coyra to ask someone. Sure.
Sultan says, it's nice to meet. He kind of looks at you, like squints his eyes a little bit, and he says, "It's nice to meet a fellow druid." He says, "I fear that that Avernus is not friendly towards us, though." He says, "I've felt my connection with Sylvanus fading the longer that I am here."
Coyra just awkwardly nods, like, sure.
That's nice.
Coyra actually asks, like, if he's joining us and if he's gonna defend himself, and it's like just that kind of stuff.
He says, "I'd rather stay with the other refugees." He says, I feel like I could be of some use to them, and I don't know what your plan is either." He says, "I still
We
don't
don't have a
understand
plan.
why you're here."
Yeah,
We're
don't know
here
what
to
plan is either.
figure out how and why the city is now in Avernus when it wasn't before, to do what we can to fix that, and
Our more
to
immediate
burn down
is-
whoever stands in.
Our more immediate goal is finding Ravengard. Once we get our refugee friends to safety.
He says, "He may still be down there. I don't know."
Really quick and out of character question. Does Coyra need her quarterstaff to use her magic?
Nope.
As I've never used that thing, so
Some, in some
I'm
cases, it's like you prefer using your thorn whip or your scimitar. Others prefer using something like a quarterstaff.
Yeah, so that's why I'm also asking about the weapon. Upon hearing that he doesn't have a quarterstaff, Coyra actually offers her.
Okay. He's quite taken aback by this, and
You're carrying around a staff of wood?
Yes, you see why I want to get rid of it.
he says, "Well, if you want to get rid of it, then..." He kind of looks at it with a bit of admiration, and he's like, "If you want to get rid of it, I'll certainly take that," he says, and he'll kind of like weigh it in his hands, and he's like, and he kind of spins it a little bit, and he's like, "Yes, this is very good. Thank you very much."
Out of character, we don't need to cut it down to halfling size.
It is like a little tool.
It's a 1/8 staff.
It's like, oh. But he seemed to handle it okay, just about.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
He uses it like, just stick it in the ground and then do like a double kick in somebody's face.
He's not a monk, but
It's a pole weapon.
It's a pole vault.
Coyra just says, if we get out of here alive, if you happen to see me again, once we're out of here,
I want
Can
it back.
I mean, it's one of the few things she brought with her, so it must have some meaning to her, the staff. Else it would have burnt already, let's be honest.
he says, "Of course." He says, "Are you sure you want me to have this?"
Yes,
Okay. He says,
I've not used it a single time. I'd rather use my whips and my scimitar.
and he says, "Of course. When as soon as I can, I'll return it to you."
Oh, before we go any further, what happened? What was done with the arrowheads for the arrows that weren't able to be mended?
He probably would have saved the head and discarded the rest.
Coyra burnt rest.
In which
It's a small
in which
fire.
case, Grimm would take a moment to ask if he cares to spare one of those arrowheads.
He'd say no. I don't want to
Okay.
spare one of those arrowheads. They're rather expensive.
Well, it'd be temporary. I was thinking about seeing if I could attach it to the end of the whip. Give a silvered quality to a whip.
So at that moment,
Idea, anyway.
Mhm.
yeah, Lulu arrives back with Harkina, Gary, and the 2 toddlers.
I guess what I'm saying is you'll have to ask him. I'm not going to give away his equipment.
Thorn gets back. You've got
Anyway.
nothing. I don't know how that happened.
No, you can't check our packs to see if it's in there.
Let's zoom in now.
Anyway.
That is a little bit closer now.
I take it's easy or hard or what to open this trapdoor.
Well, Palkas would suggest perhaps we take a short rest while we've got the time.
Selton says it will be much safer to rest down there, and he kind of he clambers up onto the hand itself and gives that section that you saw, Grimm, gives it a push, and it pops, and then he slides it back underneath. It pops up and he can slide it then. So he's like, I would much prefer to go down if you don't mind.
Wait, I didn't catch all that.
Palkas was saying, let's take a short rest, and
Selton says no.
Seltern said, it's a lot safer if we go
No,
down the hole.
Yeah, I caught that part. I didn't catch all of that last part about what Seltern said after he opened it.
He says,
It broke up a little bit.
oh, sorry.
He said, "Get in the hole."
Pretty much.
Unless Thorn prefers to go first, I'll go first. Because I take it the gist of it was he didn't want to go first.
Oh, Selton? Selton will be heading straight down if you guys are not.
Oh, okay.
So he's not, particularly shy about it.
Palkas is in the back. And is it easy to figure out how to close it back up on the other side?
Selton says, yes, we can do that.
Because we'd want to do that to ensure that they don't follow us, hopefully.
So you...
Wonder if the hand can be closed from inside.
Maybe there's another lever.
Yeah. I'm going to follow right up. If Seltern is
Not that lever!
down right away. Yeah. I'm halfway through and somebody throws the lever. Yeah, I can see that.
I'm
happening.
ready. Just whip the lever. Once we're inside, pull back.
But if Seltern immediately goes in, I'll be right behind him.
Okay. Alright, so what you see when you kind of look down through this trapdoor is there's actually a very neat set of stairs that immediately kind of opens up into a much larger set of stairs. So you kind of have to duck your head underneath the face of the altar, and then it opens out immediately into this kind of big 20-foot wide staircase actually that goes down about goes down about 30 feet, and then it looks like it goes round to either side. And Seltern, he's kind of already heading down there, so he's partway down the staircase, and I think that's actually probably where we will leave it today.
Okay.
So
Our descent into the catacombs.
yeah,
Nothing could go wrong down here.
nah.
I mean, we're only going deep in... Let's be honest, we're just going deeper into hell. What could possibly go wrong?
It's fine.
Technically, we haven't gone into hell itself yet. We're still hovering above hell.
True, true. And before we just fall down, plop.
There
I
we go.
should stop giving ideas.
All right. So, thanks everybody for coming out for another episode of Descent into Avernus. As we descend in Avernus, further into Avernus. So, I don't know. We'll find out what happens next time.
Descension.
Yeah, descend. Yeah, what she said. Thanks everybody for coming out. Don't forget, tomorrow is Tomb of Annihilation, and it is the climax of the over 2-year campaign.
Probably the penultimate episode.
Yeah,
as well.
probably the penultimate episode. There may be one more episode after that, but that should be about it. So we'll hopefully see you guys around then.
How long it takes kashcah to kill it.
Hey, if they keep throwing
Why do
themselves
you
in
have
front of
such-
like all the evil spells.
Remember,
hey, it's not
she's
my
there to
fault.
keep us alive.
There's only
Yeah,
so
I
much
mean,
I can do.
let's be honest, she only killed one character so far in this campaign.
Character. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Take care. Bye.